only on KCRG 9.2.
The sights that are happening now on Dwayne Biggs Field cannot epitomize the day we've had here better. All 6 teams that are involved in the Fight with Flash Crosstown Baseball Classic today all gathered in center field taking a group photo, which I would expect to be followed by a wave, which we will broadcast live here on KCRG 9.2. This is what it's all about, and I can't imagine a better way to open our final game tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I got chills looking at this. Just because of what the Schrader family has done and what Flash meant to this community and what he's done to bring this community together and teach people about attitude, effort, shake and bake, which is fun, of course. And it's absolutely amazing, and just proud to be able to be friends with the Schraders and so close with Austin. But it's been a great deal, and the young lady that was in the I'm not sure what show she was on, but she's out there singing right now, which is absolutely amazing. What a neat setting right here for the Fight with Flash.
For those who are just tuning in, we're getting ready for Game 3 of the day of the Fight with Flash Crosstown Baseball Classic. In the middle of that group is Craig and Stacy Schrader, who are in charge of the entire day. They, of course, lost their son, Austin Flash Schrader.
It's time to wave.
He was 15.
As the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
Now I'll leave it to this moment as all 6 teams wave to the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
How about one more round of applause for the
That is a tradition
field.
that is unlike any other. Started 2 seasons ago at Kinnick Stadium at the end of the first quarter, where the entire crowd, all 70,000 plus that can pack Kinnick Stadium on a Saturday, all wave to the top floor, the Stead Family Children's Hospital, where the patients undergoing cancer treatments up there, then wave back. It is truly something to witness in awe. And the fact that they do it here today is a great moment for all.
It gives you goosebumps, and one of the neat things is when Austin Flash Schrader was in the hospital, they were building the new Stead Family Children's Hospital. Austin signed one of the beams that goes in there, and so Austin Flash Schrader has his name on one of the beams that he signed while he was in the hospital of the brand new hospital. It was neat to see the people up there waving back to the baseball players.
It's just an incredible moment to top off what's been an incredible day here at Dwayne Biggs Field in Iowa City, all put together by the Schrader family. Again, cannot give them enough credit for the kind of event they've put on annually now for the past couple of years here, getting in all 6 Iowa City area schools to battle for a win on their record, but it has to do a whole lot more than just wins.
Without a doubt. And one thing you can see at home plate, you got the Schraders dancing out there. They're full of energy. Craig is an absolutely amazing guy, and the Schrader family goes to all the dance marathons and speaks and talks about their message, and it's just amazing what they do. I do know this. Craig would definitely want me to say that he has a bunch of people that help him with this event throughout the year for everything that they do with this and also with the golf outing. He's got some of his good close friends that they put together a committee, and as I mentioned earlier, they all volunteer their time. All the money that they get, every cent that they raise, goes to the hospital and goes to the children.
Well, that's the theme here today in Iowa City, and we've had ceremonial pitches before each of our games here that involve children undergoing issues, whether it be cancer or other issues. And the one throwing out our third game is someone we've showcased on KCRG multiple times. His name is Tate Schaefer out of Williamsburg. KCRG sports director, the story on the Williamsburg golf team that involved Tate. Check it out here.
The non-starters for Solon.
The Williamsburg golf team dedicated this season to their coach Brad Schaefer's son Tate, who has been battling a rare brain tumor called DIPG. Their team motto was to state for Tate.
His battle with cancer has been taking a physical toll on his body, but he's stayed mentally tough, and so we've tried to take that mentality right to the golf course.
The Raiders had a goal of winning a trophy for Tate this year, and they faced disappointment today. They canceled the final round of the state golf tournament for weather. Williamsburg finished 5th, just 2 shots out of the medals.
Coop.
Tater, how's it going?
Once again, Tate was there to save the day with smiles and hugs for all the disappointed players.
We have 14, 18-year-old kids that are putting a little 11-year-old kid in front of their goals and their dreams, so you can hear the emotion in my voice. I mean, it's just special.
Congratulations, boys.
Thank you. All right.
Jeez, things heavy.
Then in a great display of sportsmanship, the West Branch golf team, who had worn Tater Tough t-shirts, brought their second-place trophy over to let Tate hold it. All this support gives the Schaefer family strength.
There's just a lot of people that care about us, and we're super fortunate to be in the community in the spot that we're in. So that strength every day is just the people that are around us.
Through their Tater Tough Facebook page, Brad has been able to share the good times like the trip to the Super Bowl and the Masters this year.
It kind of keeps his mind off of the treatment, keeps his mind off of, you know, what's he got going on, and it's just, you know, he's taken the motto of just live every day to the fullest.
Brad also shares the progress Tate is making, like his recent chemo treatments in California.
It's called convection enhanced delivery of chemo, and they go into the brain with catheters. And that's a clinical trial that we're in right now. And he had really good success.
Brad thought about taking the year off from coaching, but after moments like today, he's glad he didn't.
You know, I didn't even know if I was going to coach this season with everything we had going on, and just he said no, I want to be there. He loves riding in the cart. They treat him like he's their little brother.
And there you see Tate there. Tater Tough. If that doesn't encapsulate the attitude of the day, don't know what does.
Without a doubt, I had the pleasure to spend about 5 minutes with him down there and talk to him. And, you know, this has all been because of Austin Flash Schrader and his attitude and what he did to a community. You want to talk about a twin. You're talking about Tate, who is just took on Williamsburg, and everybody, the support and the love for him and his attitude. His attitude is off. It's just absolutely incredible. There's so many similarities between him and Flash, and what a great honor for this event to have Tate here to be able to throw out the first pitch. What a neat kid. He's going to throw out the first pitch. He's going to throw from the mound. He's going to throw from the rubber, and he said he's going to throw a strike. So we'll see how he does. He said if he throws a strike, he's going to wave up here to us. So we'll see what happens.
It's been a long day here at Dwayne Banks Field, but it's with events like this, it's ones that you don't really want to end. It'll happen 365 days, or at least approximately a year after that, and for years to come. So it's happened the prior years, as you see their Schrader family having their own individual embracements with the Solon starters, as now they'll switch over to the first baseline and embrace the Iowa City West starters. Of course, Austin, part of the Iowa City West feeder program when he passed away when he was 15. And then we saw his brother, who's now part of the Liberty Lightning program, coming in with a nice closeout earlier. I don't think it technically was a save given the 4-run lead, but it was a nice 2 innings of work that was a new element for the Schrader family, having actually a family member participate in the games.
What a neat opportunity to have Cody out there and pitch and finish the game off for the Lightning. It was I know it was very special for Cody. I know it was special for the Schrader family, and what a neat moment. And you know, it's amazing how him and his sister Kiki, who you want to talk about a Spitfire athlete, she said she's going to be starting shortstop for Clemson someday. So she's got some high aspirations, and just a great athlete, and they all have the attitude of Craig and Stacy. You know, they're just very, very positive, very competitive. You know, some of the more competitive people you'll ever want to be around. And, you know, again, it's just what a neat situation. As you said, it's been a long day here, but we don't want it to end because of certain things like you see on the field, like the wave, Tate coming out to throw, and just everybody smiling around here and everybody realizing that this is bigger. This is bigger than baseball.
You can see Tate and his family coming down the first baseline. It looks like we will go. No, we will have, it looks like, the pitch before the national anthem. I'm not positive we're going to have a national anthem, but given that fact that we had one before each of the two prior games before this, I would think we would. As you see the Schrader family embrace with Tate Schaefer now.
Baseball, solid, Buffalo Wild Wings, the Vine, PE, the Williamsburg Raiders, Iowa
Look at that
Hawkeyes,
smile.
Chicago Cubs, and the Golden State Warriors. Tate was diagnosed with DIPG on December 13th,
As they go through Tate's
2018.
story, just these first ceremonial pitches, and to my knowledge, I believe this is the first year, at least for the Iowa City West program and for the event, that the senior class last year was Tate's age group. So this is that first year that all of the players involved in any of the games on either team never actually got to play with Austin.
Exactly.
Last year was that.
Yeah, that's exactly. That was his class last year that had graduated, and so some of the younger kids might have spent a little bit of time with him, but you know what a neat. And it's amazing that everything is still, the support is still incredible, even though that class is out of there.
There have been a lot of strikes thrown today. 3 of the most important ones have come from our ceremonial first pitch throwers.
He's
The
shaking
third
them
one
off.
coming right here from Tate Schaefer out of Williamsburg.
All right. How about that? That's great to see. He said he was going to throw a strike. He said he was going to throw a strike, and sure enough, he did. He threw out the first pitch at the Colonels game, and that's called will. That's called there was no way he wasn't going to make a good throw right there. So a lot to learn from there. Look at that smile. Every time you see him, all the
from ear to ear, I can see it from up here.
Yeah. You know what? Look at the smile of every one of those guys on the field. That makes it special.
You know, normally when Solon and Iowa City West match up, there's a lot on the line. They're in different classes. They don't play in the playoffs, but these regular season games, ultra competitive with these two programs, and completely different vibe to start this game today.
Yeah, it is. And
for the right reasons.
Exactly. They're just playing a game. They're just playing a game of baseball, and they get the opportunity to play the game, and you know, that's what you want to teach kids, and that's what, when Craig and Stacy come talk to my team every single year, that's what we talk about. And earlier we talked, you see a lot of if Craig turns around, you're going to see on the back, win the day on his shirt, and then what he always had in the dugout, he had a whiteboard, and he always had win the day, attitude, effort, and shake and bake. And
At this time, we ask that you please stand.
I'll talk about it after this.
We're going to take a short pause for our nation's national anthem, the third rendition today, and we'll get started. Game 3, high school baseball on KCRG 9-2 between Iowa City West and Solon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
Just a few moments away from first pitch between the Solon Spartans and Iowa City West Trojans in Game 3 of the day, our final game here of the night on KCRG 9.2 as part of the Fight with Flash Crosstown Baseball Classic. In Game 1, it was the Liberty Lightning taking down Clear Creek Amana on a final score 6-2. Then a wild and wacky finish we had in Game 2 between City High and Regina. 6-5 was the final, registered as a City High win. The very last play of the game. You'll have to check later on KCRG Sports coming up at 10 o'clock. Maybe Josh will have it in the 6 o'clock in about 20-ish minutes. Caught stealing it home for the final out of the game. It's an incredible game from start to finish.
Yeah, what a way to end a game. It's not very often you see somebody trying to steal home to end a game.
So a couple of 9-win teams here in Game 3. Iowa City West coming in 9-4. The Solon Spartans 9-2-1, ranked 6th in all of Class 3A. The Trojans are ranked 4th in Class 4A. We have a treat for Game 3. Marcus Morgan, sensational sophomore pitcher for the Iowa City West Trojans on the hill today. He is 3-0, 15 innings pitched, 29 strikeouts against 6 walks. But the real stat is he hasn't allowed a earned run all season long. ERA 0.00.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll tell you what a special pitcher he is. He's got a chance to, if he wants to ever focus on baseball, he might be able to make a career out of this. It's not very often to see a young guy this athletic, this loose of an arm, command of both pitches, and also 3 pitches. He also throws a changeup, works both sides of the plate. And a lot of polish. His coach, pitching coach over there at West High, Coach Amir, has done a great job with him. But he's just a special athlete, as you know. He could play any sport and probably play at any level he wanted to.
Quarterback of the Trojan football team as well, showcasing that arm. I believe his velocity is in the high 80s, if not low 90s as well. And for as young as he is, and he hit the weight room for a couple of years, all of a sudden that number's going to just start ticking up one by one there into the mid-90s. Exactly.
The other day he was pitching, I think he touched 86, 87, but he sat at 85, which is more important, and it's just so easy. I know if he just reared back and threw, he'd be hitting 88, 89. But we talked about how so many kids nowadays just rear back and throw. If
you can throw 90 in 4 straight balls, it does you no good.
That's exactly. Well, just watch how easy and fluid this is right here. And the ball jumps out of his hand.
First pitch swung on by Cam Miller, who's retired. The 4-3 put out.
That's a pretty good athlete right there himself, Cam Miller right there. So
that's Casey Marvin playing second base with the put out. Yeah, Miller, all-around player. Last year he was 9-3 as a pitcher with a 1.17 ERA, 82 strikeouts, batted .322. This season he's 3-0 as a pitcher, and he's hitting .366 at the plate. So not a big surprise he swung on the first pitch there. As the second batter of the inning, Adam Bach, phenomenal wrestler for the Spartans.
I wouldn't want to wrestle him. He's a big, strong guy.
He's also a pretty good hitter as well. .455 is his batting average as he pops this one up sky high just to the shallow part of center field. The shortstop, Fleckenstein, there to make the grab. 2 quick outs for Morgan.
You're going to enjoy watching Fleckenstein play. As a coach, you want to have a young fellow that plays with energy. Nobody in the state will play with more energy than Fleckenstein. He's fun to watch. He's turned himself into a very, very good player. Very impressed with the way he played the other day against Liberty.
So Morgan looking for a 3-up, 3-down situation here in the first inning. Jax Flynn is up. Left fielder for the Spartans.
Nothing like coming in, Solon coming in here trying to, in a special game, and also coming up against Marcus against Marcus Morgan. It's a tough deal, but you know what the best thing is when you're talking to Coach McSweeney, he embraces it. He knows it's going to make his team better, and it's a great – he's a competitor. He's looking forward to his team competing against him.
Well, which is why I'm sure that all parties are happy that they meet in the regular season and never in the postseason. They get really good competition as the backwards K to end the inning for Marcus Morgan. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. Bottom half of the first we come. West is up. We'll lead with Nick Biancuzzo, Ben Madden, and Jason Strunk. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. Left fielder Nick Biancuzzo, the leadoff man for the Iowa City West Trojans. He's got a .429 batting average himself, and 9 RBIs on the season. He's struck out 6 times all year long. He'll go up against Ryan Geskemper, pitcher for the Solon Spartans. Geskemper's 2-0 on the season, 11 innings pitched, 3.18 ERA, 10 strikeouts against 6 walks. See what Biancuzzo can do here as the leadoff man. First pitch taken for a strike that hits the outside corner. Very quick work in the top half of the inning. Marcus Morgan. And we'll see how Geskemper can respond. He responds with 2 quick strikes on Biancuzzo.
Good pitch right there. Looked like that was a changeup.
Yeah, it looked like it was about 10-15 miles per hour less.
The Bugs Bunny changeup.
And the 0-2 delivery from Geskemper. Just misses low. Here comes the 1-2. Swinging fouled away out of the stadium towards the left side.
Good piece of hitting right there. Ball away, maybe just off the plate, fouls it off. See another pitch here.
Solon coming off a sweep of the Independence Mustangs. And while the 9-2-1 record is very impressive at first glance, they're still 4th in the extremely tough Wamak East Division. Not even the conference, just the division. Undefeated Central DeWitt, 1-loss Marion. The 2-loss Beckman team is just a half game ahead of them due to the tie on Solon's record.
What a conference that is. A lot of outstanding athletic departments and baseball teams.
The 2-2 pitch. This one shot. Great connection on the bat from Biancuzzo. Settling under it is Popolo for Solon for out number 1.
What a great route right here. The first step was a key for the center fielder. Ball was hit hard. He got a good read on it, good deep drop step, and took a great angle to the ball. He made it look easy, but that's not an easy play, a ball that goes directly over your head in center field. And Nick hit that ball extremely well, but great play out there in center field.
Well, that brings up Ben Madden, the third baseman for the Trojans. He takes a strike, the outside half.
You want to see a kid that's going to play hard. He'll always play hard, and he's always going to have a smile on his face. Ben played with my son throughout the years, and it's always fun to watch him play.
Taking a look at the rest of the roster for Iowa City West, I see a lot of batting averages over 400. 3 of them. Madden hitting .417. Alongside Biancuzzo, the other one is Strunk, and he's up next as Madden grounds out to short. Nice play there, but from Jaworek. It's Brady Jaworek making the put out, shortstop.
Good play right there. Did a nice job working around the ball. Didn't rush his throw. Got a special hitter right now here, Jason Strunk. Of course, maybe had the biggest home run I've ever seen in a state tournament when he hit the home run to put West High into the championship game. And you know, just a big, strong kid. A little nicked up right now, has a little knee issue, but still out here playing.
Leads the team with a .458 batting average after batting such a lowly number of .342. 7 home runs was a division high last season. West coming off a sweep over Waterloo West. They're sitting in second place in the Valley Division of the Mississippi Valley Conference. Half game behind Linn-Mar as Strunk takes strike 1. Last season, West, a very talented team, ran into a phenomenal Wash team and an epic game to go to the state tournament, and Wash took that 8 seed all the way to the state title game, falling to Urbandale. Strike 2 to Strunk.
Good pitch right there. See what happens here. See if Strunk shortens up. Strunk, he looks like a Mike Trout type of player, just strong, short levers in his arm.
1-2 pitch. Misses up high. Player.
A lot of those kids, they struggle that junior year because they're so worried about where they're going to go to college. And, Strunk, he's decided to go to Heartland. So he's relaxed now, just playing the game to have fun.
It's a pop fly down the right field line, playable. And it's just off the glove of the first baseman, Miller. They'll go for a foul ball. Talk about how teams have given their opponents some opportunities here today, with the sun playing a big factor in our early 2 games, especially on those high pop flies. That one was going to be a tough one for Miller, who was backtracking good 20 yards from his current position.
Yeah, he almost made that play. That was a tough play, and that one was farther down that he couldn't. The second baseman, he didn't have a chance. So really, Miller was the only one that had an opportunity.
Strunk for the shot, right down the middle. Jaworek, tough throw, just gets Strunk out at first. A nice stretch there from the first baseman, Miller, and a bang play. 3 up, 3 down in the top and bottom half of the first inning. To the second we go, tied 0-0 between Solon and Iowa City West. You're watching high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. As you take a look at the replay here from Jaworek to Miller, 2 consecutive 6-3 putouts to end the inning there. That one bang as it just beat Jason Strunk, the batter, as we enter the second inning.
Strunk can really run too, so that was a bang play, and great play by the shortstop to even make it close. I didn't think he was going to stand a chance, and Strunk's got a little bit of a banged up knee, which may have allowed it to be a close play there. But great play by the shortstop.
Well, you hit it on the nail earlier with Strunk. Just looking at the body type, the speed there, showcasing from home to first. He plays center field. Who does that remind me? Oh, yeah, Mike Trout, the guy who said it earlier. Not a bad guy to get compared to.
No, not at all. Not at all. Very talented player, and he's got a bright future. He'll go to Heartland and Jimmy Francos, who used to play here at the University of Iowa as the head coach, will do a very good job with him.
Nolan Pattinson, the leadoff hitter for the Spartans, batting cleanup. Trying to take on Morgan, falling behind here on an 0-2 count. Morgan, again, an incredible 29 strikeouts coming into the game. So now he's got 30. The backwards K he delivered to Jax Flynn in the first inning. The 0-2, swung on, defended, fouled away from Pattinson. A couple of coaching icons here in this game as well, when you talk about the rest of the area. Guys who have been around for quite a while.
Yeah, and have a ton of success. And, Coach McSweeney has a state championship, and Coach Stump has been in plenty of the championship games. Yeah, nice play there. You see how that's really good footwork there by Fleckenstein. Gave himself a good angle. I kind of call it a V-cut backhand. Got himself in position and made a nice throw over to first base. And he was able to make that throw look easy because of the footwork that he had.
So now the lefty, Chris McSweeney, batter number 5 for Morgan, looking to retire 5 in a row. This ball misses on the inside.
It's Coach McSweeney's son playing here. It's it's different when you're coaching your own son. Believe me, I did the last 5 years at Mount Mercy with my son Casey, and experience I'd never want to change. It was a neat deal, and I'm going to have him on my coaching staff here in the future also. So it's a neat opportunity. I know it's been great for Coach McSweeney. He called me. He goes, "How do you handle it?" And it's tough at first because you don't want your son to be the one making the mistake, and you get worried and should I play him? Shouldn't I play him? And there's a whole bunch to it, but it's an opportunity I know Coach McSweeney wouldn't want to change, and I wouldn't want to change it, having the opportunity to coach my son Casey for the last 5 years.
Chris is down on a 1-2 count. Pitch by Morgan. This one shot right back up the middle. Diving attempt from Fleckenstein, but it deflects off the glove McSweeney will get credited with the single. First runner aboard of the game for either team.
Almost a great play there by Fleckenstein, but a good swing. Didn't try to do too much. Nice short swing by Chris McSweeney, and got himself the first base hit of the game.
So that brings up Cole Artiser, third baseman for Solon. And we'll see how Morgan responds. His first time of the game with a runner on board. Headed from the stretch. His first attempt's pickoff. McSweeney back in plenty of time. Something tells me Morgan does not want to let up his first earned run at Dwayne Banks Field.
No, I don't think he does. It's, you know, the thing about him is he gave up some base runners against Liberty the other night, but he just goes about his business. You know, he's played so much, been in so many situations between football, basketball, baseball. You know, he's just got tremendous composure. He doesn't act like he's only a sophomore or going to be a junior. You know, and those are the things that you look at as coach. As a coach, he's not only does he have the physical ability, but it looks like to me he's got the mental makeup to be a special competitor and special pitcher.
Now, I might be a little biased, given baseball is my favorite sport, but you need mental toughness in every sport. As a pitcher, I think maybe the level is a little bit higher.
Yeah,
of the really threshold you need.
You got to have that short memory, and you know, I talk about a lot of the pitchers that we saw today. I've talked about Caden Obermuller, who was a freshman, first start in his high school varsity career, and for what he did was absolutely tremendous. The composure he kept, and you know, there's some kids that have a hard time doing that. They get a little frazzled and press a little bit and get upset when behind you they make errors. And we've seen some kids really handle those situations well today.
The 1-2 pitch from Morgan got behind the catcher Cooper. So McSweeney's now on second, 180 feet away. As now it's Artiser's job to bring him home. One out in the inning. Morgan sets and fires. Called strike 3 on Artiser. Morgan just pinching that lower part of the strike zone for a second backwards K of the game.
That's the biggest thing I'm impressed with Marcus Morgan. And not only does he throw 3 pitches for strikes, but he works both sides of the plate. You know, he's a pitcher. He's not just a thrower. And, you know, it's tough when you got a guy that can throw 3 pitches for a strike and 3 above average pitches. Now, he's got to be careful he doesn't balk here. He bounced through that a little bit quick. We've already seen 1 balk called today. I thought he bounced through a couple the other day also. So he's got this one thing he's got to make sure. He's so good, you don't want to give up free bases and put a guy at third base when you don't have to. Make him swing the bat to get you out.
At the plate, center fielder Jackson Pipolo, who we saw track down a nice ball in the first inning. Tried to check his swing there, and they'll say he didn't go. Ball 1, even the count's at 1-1.
You know, one of the things that even made that play that much better was the fact that, you know, when you play at Solon, it's not as big of a field as you got here at Dwayne Banks. It's probably about, you know, maybe 375, 380 is center field. Here it's close to 400. So you got to track
Big
down
10 outfield.
Yeah, it is. it is. And he did a great job of going after that ball.
Pipolo, a sharp ground ball. Settled by the first baseman, McAreevy, and that will retire the side. From 1 hit from Chris McSweeney, but no damage done as Morgan gets out of the second inning unscathed. It's still tied 0-0. We head to the bottom of the second inning as West is coming up to bat. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Iowa City West after a 3-up, 3-down first inning from pitcher Ryan Gestkemper of Solon. Ryan Cooper, then Chase Calderwood and Owen McAreevy coming up. And hello, everybody. We're not used to being on camera here. I was told we weren't going to be on camera.
We look better, and we're face for radio, you know, so. Hey,
we had the net obscuring,
yeah,
exactly.
Right.
When it's that far away,
That's
it really
right.
does put a damper on the viewing experience.
Yeah. Tell you what, here's one of my favorite players I've watched this year, Ryan Cooper. I've had the pleasure of watching him throughout the years. He's going to the University of Iowa for engineering. I'm not happy about that. Ryan Cooper should be playing college baseball somewhere because he battles you. He just cuts, slashes. He can throw. I really like the way he plays the game. You know, his dad coached Tyler, my son Tyler. Tyler played up 1 or 2 years with a lot of these guys, and I just fell in love with the way that Ryan plays the game.
Count's grown to a favorable 3-1 for Cooper. Cooper batting .371 on the season. He's brought home 14 RBIs.
He's going to have quality at bats, though. That's the thing about him.
Takes ball 4 high and up tight. First runner aboard for the Trojans.
Center fielder number 9, Chase Calderwood.
And our lovely PA announcer, Mike Morrison. Did that sound like Craig? Was that Mike? I'm not sure. Let me open the door here.
I think it is Mike still.
Yeah, it is. Been working all day long.
That was scary when you opened up that.
Caught him in the act doing something.
Yeah. That's a lot of the board members that have been working late hours last night and getting up early and doing things. That was Eric Johnson right there when we opened up the door, and his wife has done a ton for this and really is in charge of this classic right here, and she does a great job. But neighbors of the Schraders.
Calderwood, the right fielder, up on a 1-0 count.
There's a balk. He never stepped off. You have to throw the ball there. You can get away with not throwing the ball if you step back, but he didn't step back off the mound. Yep.
You could do that to second base.
Yes. Now we'll see what Charlie does here. You know, Charlie's been a guy that swings the bat, and he has shown some things a little bit differently as far as bunting more lately. But and Calderwood's a kid that can really handle the bat, a good hitter. I expect him to probably be swinging the bat, but see if Charlie's changed his ways at all.
Between Geiskemper and Morgan, we might be looking at a pitcher's duel here, so runs may be of a higher value. No outs, and West has a runner in scoring position.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I had Marcus Morgan on the hill, you know you get one run, you got a pretty good chance of winning the game. But this is what Charlie has the philosophy of, why would I have a guy bunt in the second inning when he's going to come up in the 7th inning? He's going to have to drive in the run, you know. So he believes in his hitters. He always has been a very offensive-minded coach. Puts a lot of confidence in his players, and Charlie's teams always play. You know, you look at their record right now. Well, look at it at the end of the year. They're going to be playing to go to the state tournament, I guarantee it, because Charlie just finds a way for his teams to play the best at the end of the year. Mental toughness is one of my philosophies. Is mental toughness. How are you tough? It's when you play your best when it means the most. And Charlie's teams always play the best when it means the most.
The 2-2 pitch to Calderwood. Swing and fouled away. Out of the park once more towards the left side.
Good swing right there by Chase. You know, I like that swing right there. He had 2 strikes on him, and he wasn't early. He's letting the ball travel. You know, that way if it's a breaking ball, he's not going to be way out front. And so let's see what he does here. Chase just reminds you that guy's going to put the ball in play. Going away, maybe a changeup here.
Hits it to the right side. Routine play from McSweeney to Miller. And then Miller goes across the diamond to Arduser. Trying to catch Cooper sleeping. We saw that in a game earlier. They didn't catch him, but we've seen that cross the diamond throw.
I've seen him more.
It's risky.
I've seen him more today than I did in a couple of years.
Because it's risky, I don't think you advise it, do you?
No, I really don't. Now, Cam Miller threw that ball about 95 miles per hour across the infield. So, but he's a little different athlete. But I wouldn't recommend that one. More bad's going to happen than good, as I said last time we saw it.
Owen McAreevy up next for Trojans. Good block there from Adam Bach.
Now, we talked about, you know, a lot of teams would have been bunting in that situation, but Charlie trusted his player, and Chase Calderwood did a great job. He did his job. He got the guy over to third base. Now it's up to McAreevy to just put the ball in play and score a run.
This one, sharp line drive all the way to Kinnick Stadium's parking lot. Right side of the ballpark. 1-1 count. Geis Kemper in his first test of the ball game here in the bottom of the second inning. And the delivery. Off speed, hit right back up the middle from McAreevy. That'll go for a single, and he'll get credit with the RBI as Ryan Cooper crosses home. West High Trojans take a 1-0 lead.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. You don't have to hit the ball hard. Just put the ball in play. And then what happens, you get rewarded. You know, the infield's playing back. You got a guy at third base. All you got to do is hit the baseball up the middle, and everybody thinks you have to hit a sac fly or get a base hit. All you got to do is put it in play, and when you have a good approach, you'll get rewarded also. So that's a great job right there. Tremendous execution by West High.
And that brings up the pitcher, Marcus Morgan, a right-handed thrower, left-handed batter. Morgan, a .292 hitter on the season.
Swinging back pretty good the other night when he was pitching. Hit a long line drive to center field.
Takes ball one, down low.
By the way, we were making fun of people for putting in the middle of the game, the infield going in and putting a bug spray on. Those bugs are bad out there.
Yeah?
Those bugs are bad. The poor center field camera guy is just getting bombarded out there.
Trying to get some pronunciation guidelines from both head coaches, Heath and Charlie, as Morgan pokes one through the right side. 2 runners aboard. And we didn't spend a whole lot of time down there on the turf field, but there were a lot of them.
Yes, there was.
Just weird to see him on turf. There's a lot of grass behind the outfield wall, which is why we feel so incredibly bad for our cameraman out there in center field. He is in the thick of it in the grass. But to be on the turf and in the abundance that they're in, can't make it fun to play in.
Not at all.
Second baseman number 2, Casey Marvin.
Runners on first and second for Iowa City West after Morgan's single, and then he'll take a pinch runner so he can go back to the bench. Second hit of the ball game for the West High Trojans. Brings up Casey Marvin. Marvin, swing and miss, foul tip, strike one.
West High putting a little pressure on him right now. Again, it was just good baseball execution by moving the guy over with nobody out by Calderwood. And then the base hit up the middle, just a ground ball up the middle, score a run.
Marvin again, just getting tip of the bat on the ball. Second straight foul tip. He's down 0-2. Marvin, the 8 hitter. Nick Fleckenstein, who we've already seen made 2 good putouts at shortstop, on deck. And back to the top of the order with Nick Biancuso. As Marvin calls for time.
Couldn't ask for a better day out here today, besides the bugs.
Besides the bugs, but we don't really have to deal with that.
No, we don't.
It's nice being up here. Job has its perks sometimes.
Good play right there. You saw McAreevy at second base getting a tremendous secondary lead, so they tried to put a timing pick on. And what that'll do is just going to slow him up a tick here where he might not be able to score on a base hit, but you could have got him caught leaning and maybe pick him off in that situation.
McAreevy, the generous lead, halfway down the third baseline there, between second and third. On the delivery as Marvin battles the 0-2 pitch fouled away. You can see Morgan's pinch runner on first just swatting gnats out of his face.
Yeah, you got Ben Vanderleest over there.
Every couple seconds you'll see his hand swipe right in front.
Looks like they're giving signs.
Count is 1-2. Geiskemper trying to get out of the inning, trying to force a double play ball here. And the 1-2 pitch. High for ball 2.
It's a good at bat right here by Marvin, working the count a little bit. Found some pitches off.
Delivery, 2-2, swing on a miss for strike 3. second strikeout of the game, first strikeout of the game, rather, for Geis Kemper. That one's swinging from Casey Marvin for out number 2 of the inning, as it brings up the 9-hole hitter, Nick Fleckenstein.
I would bet your next check that he will not strike out. Your next paycheck. You know he's going to battle you. He's been swinging the bat extremely well here as of lately.
Contact on the first pitch to Jaworek. Jaworek across the diamond throw to Miller, who's off the bag, but a nice heads-up play from Miller to get the tag down on Fleckenstein, which ends the inning. Geskamp gets out of the jam. Just 1 run allowed on 2 hits in the inning as we now head to the top of the 3rd. Solon will try and get it back. You're watching high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. It's a 1-0 lead for the Iowa City West High Trojans over the Solon Spartans. Spartans coming in 9-2-1. Following a year last year where they went 32-11, losing to Bishop Elon 3A state tournament in a walk-off fashion in 8 innings after a great outing from Cam Miller, who is now a junior playing first base today, and he's up 3rd in this inning. First, it's Cale O'Neill, the right fielder. Morgan so far has been breezing through the Solon lineup, allowing just 1 hit.
That was a great Solon team last year that they had. My son Casey helps out with the sophomores in varsity. They had a lot of really good players. Ira Small had a special year and went to South Dakota State and had a great freshman season. You talk about a guy that worked hard, and great story about Ira Small. He was at his sister's graduation, and there wasn't one male valedictorian that had a 4.0 GPA, and he told his mom and dad he was going to be the valedictorian and get a 4.0, and guess what he did? He did it himself, and then he put on about 20 pounds his senior year, played football when he hadn't been playing football. Just a special guy.
1-2 pitch fouled away from O'Neill.
Here's the other thing I love about Marcus Morgan. He works fast. He came down the hill a little bit there to get the ball from the pitcher, or from the umpire after a foul ball. But he doesn't waste any time. He gets the ball, gets on the mound, and throws.
This is one low there. Counts evened up at 2-2. Morgan 2 strikeouts on the day. Just allowing that single from Chris McSweeney. And like we were mentioning, he is not allowed an earned run all season long. So a 1-0 lead is pretty comfortable for the Trojans.
I think Charlie feels pretty good, although Charlie knows it's a game of baseball. Anything can happen, and it's not to say that no one scored a run on him before. There's been some errors, I'm sure, but he's a tough one to score.
2 runs allowed all year, and 0 earned. So yeah, the errors would be the cause of that. As O'Neill battling back to a full count. Lined up, man, the pitch. Misses the outside corner. Morgan thought it was a strike.
I don't have the stats in front of me. How many walks does he have on the year?
Marcus Morgan, that would be number 7 on the season compared to 30 strikeouts. Well, now 31 strikeouts.
That's a pretty good ratio. That's what you want to see.
And he thought it, the way he responded there after that pitch, he thought he hit the corner.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty
Put it where he wanted it.
This will be a firm fastball right there. He wasn't real happy that was ball 4.
The 9-hole hitter, Brady Jaworek, shortstop up for the Spartans, looking to get that run back.
Want to get this guy to second base with Cam Miller coming up. You got your big-time athletes coming up at Cam Miller and Bach, and so you want the guys in scoring position for those guys. They've been in big, if it's football or whatever sport, wrestling, they're competitors. Cam Miller is one of the best competitors I've seen. I've watched him throughout the years, and he brings it. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, football, or baseball. He's as competitive as it gets.
Jaworek lays the butt down beautifully down the first base line. Will stay in fair territory. McAreevy makes the tag on Jaworek, who advances O'Neill to second. Runner in scoring position for the second straight inning for Solon. We'll see if the top of the order is able to get him around. Cam Miller up next.
Great execution right there. We saw West High execute. That's how they scored their run. You know, guy at second, and they advanced him on a ground ball. Let's see if Cam can come up with a big swing of the bat.
Miller coming in, an on-base percentage, 480, slugging percentage, 390, batting average, 366, 0 for 1 today, grounding out to second base on the first pitch of the ball game, way back in the first inning. Now in a second go-around. Check swing there. Didn't think he went. But they'll appeal, and the umpire agrees.
Good work by the umpires working together. A lot of respect right here. You see throwing 2 breaking balls with guys in scoring position.
1-1 count on Cam Miller. Third pitch just outside. And these top 3 hitters in the Solon lineup are incredibly intimidating. If you walk Miller, well, then you get Adam Bach. And if you get past Bach, well, then you have Jax Flynn. None of which any pitcher wants to see. That. An outside strike. Seemed like it was in a similar position to the pitch before. Nonetheless, 2-2 count. Miller didn't like it.
Now, you know what I like? He just choked up. Now he's going to battle here with 2 strikes. I like the way he responded. He knew it wasn't a strike, and there you go.
Miller with a high chopper up the middle. Fleckenstein makes the throw to McGravy for his second out of the inning. Miller advances the runner to third, and we'll see if Bach can get him home.
Catcher number 10, Adam.
Did a good job putting that ball in play and make him make a play. Make him make a play. I really like the way that Cam handled that. He wasn't happy about the call. That's out of his control, but what he did, it turned around, shortened up, had a 2-strike approach, and put the ball in play, and Fleckenstein made a nice play.
Adam Bach takes an off-speed strike down the heart of the plate.
You can see a little different shift now. Fleckenstein's playing in that 6-hole a little farther over with Bach up, more of a pull hitter, a little more of a top-hand guy.
The 0-1. Outside for ball 1. These teams very familiar with one another. And for a senior like Adam Bach, West High coach Charlie Stumpf probably knows exactly how he wants to play him.
Yeah.
You see that big gap right up the middle of the field as Bach sends one high in the air to the middle of the infield. Under it is Marvin, who makes the catch to retire the side. 1 runner left aboard. No hits as Morgan gets out of the third inning. 3 innings of work for Morgan. No runs allowed. West still holding a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the third coming up. You're watching high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. Top of the order coming up in the bottom of the third inning for the West High Trojans. Nick Bincuzzo, Ben Madden, and then Jason Strunk, who each are 0 for 1 on the day. 1-0 lead for West High. And as we mentioned in the inning prior, it's a confident 1-0 lead when you have Marcus Morgan on the mound. But West High would certainly not say no to any kind of insurance runs they might be able to gather.
Left fielder number 6, Nick Biancuzzo.
Ryan Geis-Kemper in his third inning of work. Just the 1 run allowed. 1 strikeout off 2 hits. And the first pitch to the bottom of the third. Nicely laid bunt by Biancuzzo, who will beat the throw at first by a good 2 steps.
Great bunt base hit right there. Now that's a leadoff guy. You know, they got a 1-0 lead. His job is to get on base any way he can. You got some good hitters coming up. You've already talked about all the guys they got hitting over 400, and very nice job. Third baseman was giving it to him. He took advantage.
So up comes in third baseman Ben Madden, 417 for the year. Grounded out to short his first time around. This time with a runner on. Geis-Kemper checks on Biancuzzo. Slides in safely. And Geis-Kemper gets the sign he likes, settles, and delivers. Right down the middle. Down the right side, just foul. No more than a foot past the line.
Now this is a little execution here. You had a bunt base hit. Looked like it was a hit and run right there. Ben Madden, as I said, is just one of those kids that'll do anything for the team. Very selfless player. Almost pulled it off. And as we talk about, when you execute, you get rewarded. It's amazing how many times when you ask a kid to hit and run, you try to hit the ball the other way, you get rewarded with close to a double right there.
On the speed of Biancuso, wouldn't be surprised if he was able to go first to home if that one had stayed.
He would have scored on that one probably. We talked about how Iowa City was playing their guy in the gap right now. Solon does have their guy closer to the right field line.
Biancuso 5 for 5 in steal attempts on the season.
He's going right here.
Taking a generous lead, and there he goes. High pitch throw from Bach. Biancuso safe at second, 6 for 6 on the air.
Yeah, that's one of those that sometimes they'll tip off that they're running. And that's a case right there where you can almost out of the dugout yell a runner and have him step off and then pick over there a couple times, or just make him slow his feet. You saw he was tipping he was going to run right there with what he was doing with his feet. Now you got to do a good job at second, otherwise you might steal third on you.
Madden squares around but pulls back to take ball 2. Counts now 2-1 with a runner in scoring position. The always dangerous Strunk on deck. Kemper settles in, and the 2-1 pitch to Madden. Swinging, struck on to Jaworek at short. Jaworek throws to Miller for the putout.
Good job right there by Benny Madden. Good base running. That's Nick at second base understood where the shortstop was playing. The ground ball that was to the left of the shortstop. He's able to advance to third base. That's execution. That's a really good job. Now you got one of the best hitters in the state up with a guy at third. Now see if Strunk takes what they're giving him. Doesn't try to do too much. Just get, hit that ground ball, or if you do, you end up getting rewarded a lot of times with an extra base hit.
Runner 90 feet away for the 3-hole hitter, Jason Strunk. First pitch of the at-bat, taken for a strike. That's the 4th putout we've had so far from Jaworek at short.
Yeah, the shortstops
first 3 innings.
Yeah, shortstops are getting a lot of action. Good pitchers. There's a lot of strikes. Guys are being really aggressive off of them.
The 0-1 to Strunk. Swing and a miss. Falling behind now 0-2. Kemper with 1 strikeout on the day. That came against Casey Marvin last inning. Marvin, the 8-hole hitter. As Strunk will attempt to double the lead here. The 0-2 pitch. Taken outside.
You see, probably have the contact play on at third base. If he hits the ball down, he's going to go no matter what at third.
Foul tip to the backstop.
Good swing right there by Strunk. Just missed it. Anytime you see the ball go straight back, I'm sure you hear it on Major League Baseball all the time, but just missed it. Straight back, that's a good swing. It's also when you think, I should have hit that one. Shouldn't have missed it.
I don't think many hitters really ever appreciate their good swings when they don't result in hits.
They get mad at themselves.
Ball 2 taken down low.
Good job laying off that changeup. It's not very often you see 2 pitchers like this that have 3 pitches they throw for strikes with the fastball, breaking ball, and changeup. You can be successful when you throw all 3 of those for strikes.
The 2-2 delivery to Strunk. Just misses the outside corner. He's battled his way back from 0-2 to a full count.
Good job laying off that one. Tough pitch to lay off.
And the payoff pitch. Inside. Bach with a good job framing there, but the umpire says no. Strunk will walk to first base. Phenomenal showcase there of batting patience, battling back from 0-2 to take a walk.
Catcher number 13.
Yeah, Bach wanted that ball for sure. He thought it was going to be a strike right there.
So now men on the corners for Ryan Cooper, the catcher.
You're going to see, you'll see Strunk going early here. He wants to have a double play situation. Coop will put the ball in play for sure here, too. It might even end up being a hit and run.
Kemper keeping an eye on Strunk at first. First pitch swung on by Cooper to right. O'Neill makes the catch, and here comes Biancuso. Standing up at home without a throw. Ryan Cooper, the sacrifice fly to right field, doubles the West High lead as Biancuso scores the second run of the game. It's a 2-0 lead.
Again, offensive execution, very, very impressive with what West High's doing here. I know Charlie hasn't been really happy about the way that they played the last couple days, and Strunk was out, and but they're playing some really good baseball right now.
Brings up Chase Calderwood, grounded out to second in his first appearance. Strunk's still on first. Kemper wants to keep it that way.
We'll see how, if Strunk doesn't run here, it's probably because his legs bothering him, but this is where he would be running a majority of the time, especially with a left-hand hitter up. Sometimes you want to keep that hole open, but, I expect him to be going here.
Strunk was off with the delivery, but it's fouled away from Calderwood. Hit the netting. That's separating us from the field of play. A 0-1 count for Calderwood. Strunk looking idle at first. Takes his secondary lead as Calderwood takes ball one.
Expect a pickoff here, or maybe even a pitch out here.
After that first steal attempt, that last pitch, he didn't look like he had any intent on moving.
No. Well,
there it is, the pickoff attempt.
And that time he didn't have his hands on his knees. Those are the things you look for as a coach. You knew he wasn't going to go the previous pitch. So now he got his lead, has hands off, almost telling you that he was looking to run in that situation. Just the way he takes his lead off, sometimes you can tell.
When we saw it earlier with Biancuso, he was basically inching.
Yeah.
He didn't have to look at his hands. He just had to look at his entire body, and it was a pretty easy tell that he was going.
That's exactly.
2-1 count now on Calderwood. Chase Calderwood, the senior.
He's looking to go. Nope.
And an outside pitch called a strike.
I think that call surprised Chase.
Certainly surprised a fan who had something to say in the audience.
Yeah, I'm sure they heard it at home. Tell you what, it's one of the hardest jobs is umpiring.
Pitch in a very similar spot. This one called a ball. The count is now full.
That's not a good feeling as a hitter when it got called a strike the previous pitch and it wasn't a strike, and should I swing or should I not?
Strunk not being held at first. He's off with the pitch. Swung line foul by Calderwood. It's a nice battle between Kemper and Calderwood in this at-bat.
Calderwood did the same thing his last at-bat, if you remember. Fouled off a couple pitches, then he executed with the guy at second base, nobody out, hit the ground ball to second base to move the runner over. So Charlie actually moved Chase up. I know he was hitting a little bit lower in the order last time I saw him, but he flip-flopped with Owen. I think he's probably been swinging the bat pretty good here lately.
Strunk off one. Calderwood to shallow left. Flynn headed under it. Makes a two-handed grab to retire the side. One left on base. One run scored off one hit as the Iowa City West Trojans have doubled their lead 2-0 as we enter the fourth inning coming up after the break. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. A 1-run lead was comfortable for West High with Marcus Morgan on the hill. A 2-run lead is the way this season has gone, almost a guarantee. Morgan now in his 4th inning of work. Allowed just 1 hit so far from Solon. 2 strikeouts against 1 walk.
He is named after his father.
Part of the order up for Solon. After Bach ended the 3rd inning, it'll be the 3-hitter Jax Flynn, then Nolan Pattison, followed by Chris McSweeney. Flynn struck out looking his first attempt against Morgan. We'll see if redemption is in store as he takes ball 1 outside.
Keep saying it, but Marcus Morgan makes this look easy, doesn't he?
Ooh. Players that make it look easiest tend to make a pretty good earning
yeah,
in their
they
life.
They make a pretty
because
good living.
The people who know better know exactly how hard it is.
That's
the easy
exactly.
things that it looks like they're doing.
He's a special young athlete. Special athletes in that entire family. You know, I think all the brothers and sisters, you know, play basketball.
Kaylin Morgan, I believe, headed to UNI.
Yep.
To play basketball.
Yep, and their older sister just got done playing. Older brother just got done playing a year ago.
So the count was 0-1. I thought that first pitch was called a ball outside because that was a ball as well, but it's a 1-1 count. So the kind of a generous outside zone here today. That one hits the upper outside corner. And count being waved at from the official says it's 2-2. Pitch from Morgan, outside.
Every umpire has a different strike zone, and it's up to the hitter to make the adjustment, and up to the pitchers to make the adjustment. You know, the umpire's actually been pretty. What I always ask for is a consistent strike zone. I don't care if it's big, just be consistent with it. And we're getting a very consistent strike zone today. And those lefties, when those lefties are up, that ball, you know, just off the plate, being called a strike.
Second strikeout of the game for Jax Flynn. I got head coach Jack Dahm with me, Mount Mercy head coach, and we've talked about baseball issues such as netting. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Robot umps. What do you think?
You know, I'm still a traditionalist. You know, I still like the umpire behind the plate. The problem is with all these cameras nowadays, you know, I think if you talk to people in tennis, they wanted to keep the, you know, you still got the lines people in tennis. However, now you do have the computers, and it's probably going to be here at some point. You know, it'll be different. I'd rather keep the umpiring. You know, the human factor involved in it. There's a human factor every ground ball, every pitch. There's a human factor of it, but it's bound to happen here sooner or later. In fact, I believe there's a minor league that's going to
one of the
here.
entire leagues. I can't remember which one, but I know what you're talking about. You answered that very delicately, and I thank you for that, because I had I'm going to call it an argument. It started as a conversation and wound up being an argument with Bruce Awney, our KCRG news anchor.
And he's a
he
big
and I
baseball
differ
guy
on these opinions, and it got a little bit heated. After 2 strikeouts, Chris McSweeney drives one deflecting, and it's Short who makes a throw to McReevy to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Marcus Morgan, who's had a stellar first 4 innings of work. 2-0 lead for Iowa City West. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, and we'll continue our controversial conversation on robot umpires coming up next on KCRG 9.2. Back in the bottom of the 4th inning, Ryan Geiskemper still on the mound for Solon as they are down 2-0 as we hit the 6, 7, 8 part of the order for the Iowa City West Trojans. Now, with the automatic K zone being in discussion here, I don't think, as you mentioned, it's probably inevitable for some levels. We've seen a minor league implement it, or will implement it for next season. don't think it's possible at the high school level.
No.
We still have
no.
tons of high school teams without lights on their field, which is why we believe there's a reason that Solon has a tie on their record. But at the professional, semi-professional levels, I do think it is inevitable that it will come. It's just when.
I think it will too, just because of all the modern technology. And I tell you what, umpires are in a tough spot. Here's one of the things that I would say about umpires. It's amazing how often they are correct. Even when players turn around and look at them, when you go to the K zone or whatever they call it, a lot of times it ends up being a strike. So the umpires really do a good job in Major League Baseball.
Oh, McAreevy beats out the ground ball. The throw is wide from Artuzer, but McAreevy will turn and go back to first safely. That should go down on a hit, even though the throw was erratic. McAreevy would have still beat the throw.
Yeah, that should have been. That's a tough play right there, especially when you haven't played on turf. You know, as soon as you see the third baseman delayed just a second there, and again, they're not acclimated to playing on this, but as soon as you see the ball that bounces up above your waist, you got to go get it. He wasn't sure if that was going to be his ball or shortstop's ball, but I'm not too sure he would have been able to get him even if he got a real good jump on it.
Marcus Morgan back at the plate. 1 for 1 on the day, but highlighted by his pitching ability. Takes that for ball 1.
You know, there's a lot of things in baseball that have changed. You see a lot of the colleges and you know, actually professional baseball right now. You know, all the outfielders, all the infielders have a card in their back pocket for the scouting report. They pull it out. You know, college baseball, they all got the card in their belt. The catchers started with the catchers. Now the base runners do. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that because I think it slows up play a little bit. I think Solon might even do it, but they don't steal your signs that way. You know, with TVs all over the place, it's so easy to steal signs. You know, things have really changed throughout the time. You know, the funny thing is everyone's up in arms about the pitch count. You know what? The pitch count shouldn't be an issue. We played with it back in 1991 in college, and our games are so much faster than everybody else. And once you get acclimated to it, you're gonna complain about something that's new, just like the netting down the lines. Something new, you'll complain about it, but people will get used to it. Now, the automatic, I'm not sure if I would call it a robot strike zone, but
it's just, I've seen the term floated out there, automatic K zone, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so.
With an automatic K zone, I think that's ball 4 for Marcus Morgan right there.
I think so. But again, we go back to the human factor. Marcus knows he's been getting that call the whole time. He just didn't need to swing. Why swing it? It's 3-0 count. You know, if he's got 2 strikes, Marcus knows he's been making a living there. He better swing the bat.
The thing that got me is I believe it was a piece done by Real Sports and HBO. And now I'm blanking on the guy's name. They interviewed former Major League ball player. He's now actually a part-time umpire in a semi-pro league. And he was just making the point that you're taking stats and hits away from the batter.
Yeah.
You know, when the batter is trained his entire life to know that a ball is a ball, it's called strike 3 on him when he knew it was a ball.
Yeah.
You just gave him a free strikeout that he didn't earn.
Well, you know what? Look at the game earlier today where everybody thought it was ball 4 and started running the first base, and the guy at first, you know, started going, and next thing you know, it was a strike. You know, so that would take those situations out of the game there, but or actually it should take it out of the game, you know, because that was a borderline pitch there, of course, and we're tough on umpires. Now, I understand all these umpires out here are doing an outstanding job. These guys they're out here, this is their second job, and they do it. You're not going to find guys that work harder than these guys out here, and it's a hard job. So that's what I want people to understand. My players, we have a fall league with Cedar Rep. It's a park and rec. We have about 12 to 1,300 people, and my players will umpire. And it's a great experience for them because they realize it is hard, and it makes you
no one's going to like your call.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You're never going to make everyone happy. I remember going at the state tournament out in Des Moines, the county soccer complex for the boys this past weekend, and it's unbelievable. These referees have to hear constantly for an 80-minute game, and including halftime from these fans, and I hear it all obviously right on the sideline just filming, but to do that over the course of a season and in any sport.
Pickoff, that's a great play right there. Good job. You know, it's a situation right there with nobody out there anticipating a bunt potentially, and it's a great time to put a pick off. That's that timing play that we talked about. And it was McElravy again who they tried to get previously, and they got him there.
Well, that's a big out following a fairly lengthy mound visit from head coach Keith McSweeney.
As a base runner, you always got to be aware of that. The best time to pick or the time that there's probably going to be a play on is right after a mound visit. So as a coach, you're always yelling out, hey, watch the pick right here, watch the pick.
That's a big play because it gets the double play potential to end the inning. All of a sudden, West had runners on first and second with nobody out looking to extend their lead. All of a sudden, one ground ball ends the inning. Casey Marvin up to bat now with an 0-2 count.
Tell you what, I'm not one of those coaches that has a lot of pickoff plays or a lot of bunt plays, but the ones that you do have, make sure you're really good at it.
Strike three, swinging, throw down to second. He's out. He got him on the head as he was sliding. The pinch runner for Marcus Morgan looked like he had beaten the throw, but the throw from catcher Bach, we'll take a look at the replay here, perfectly positioned where when the ball hit McSweeney's glove, it kind of just landed right on the runner's helmet. And I have to agree with the call. I thought he was out as well. Right there, you can see it takes the helmet off of him and it beat the foot. So way to get out of the inning for Ryan Geiskemper in the fourth. With 2 runners on and no outs, he gets out of it with nobody reaching third base. It's still a 2-0 lead for Iowa City West as we enter the 5th inning. Don't go away. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. Ending the 4th inning in style was the Solon Spartans, evading the threat with a pickoff from pitcher Ryan Geiskemper and then a strikeout and throw him out from catcher Adam Bach to McSweeney at second.
Tell you what, it was a great watch. This pick by McSweeney and putting the tag on. Did a great job focusing on catching the baseball, and the base runner actually didn't slide with his feet right into the bag. He actually tried to grab it with his left hand. So that was a good call by the umpire. As we talk about umpiring, that was a tremendous play.
Cole Arducer popping out, and the catcher Ryan Cooper for West makes the catch for the put away. Out number 1 for Morgan.
Coop. I love Coop. Not very often you see a catcher make that play up there. It's a good job.
Much closer to first base than it was home plate.
It was. You know what? But he's got that want to. He wants it. He wants to make every play he can. That's the approach you want to see all infielders have. Is anytime the ball goes up, I'm going to make the play until I'm called off. Now first base usually has a priority over the catcher, but Cooper, he wanted that ball.
This brings up Jackson Pipolo, who grounded out to first in the 2nd inning. Now in his 2nd go-round here, top of the 5th. Down by 2, fouls this one away. Counts 1-1.
Yeah, no, this has been a really good played baseball game right here. Very well pitched by both pitchers. Some outstanding defensive plays. Kind of what you expect from these two programs.
The 1-1. Just misses the outside corner. You can see Morgan was disappointed.
One of the things is when you have your best pitcher on the mound, you expect to win. And sometimes you play a little more relaxed, and then sometimes when you look at the Regina City High game. Now I think Regina needs Caden Smith to be a good pitcher, but for Caden Obermueller to do what he did, especially after getting playing a little shaky defensively. It was impressive, but sometimes you play better defensively around your best pitchers because it's just you have a comfort level with them and you know what you're going to be getting.
Breaking ball misses the outside corner. The count's full for Pipolo. Morgan has walked 1 on the day, trying to get his 5th strikeout instead of his 2nd walk. The payoff lined right back up the middle from Pipolo. His 2nd hit of the game for Solon, and they're in business. 1 runner aboard. Bring up Cale O'Neill.
What a great name. Pipolo.
Jackson Pipolo.
Kind of reminds me of Brian Piccolo.
Sure. Yeah, I'm a Packer fan, so.
Oh, that's your fault.
When I grew up, my age group, I had Cade McNown or Brett Favre.
That's good. Yeah.
So it was an easy choice for me on what I wanted to do Sunday afternoons. Cale O'Neill swinging a miss for strike one.
Yeah, back then the Bears weren't on anyways.
No, it was Cade McNown, it was Jim Miller, and then I remember all the hype about Kyle Orton coming to town to save the day and lead the Bears to the promised land, but no,
Southeast
sir.
Polk boy. He's an Iowa guy.
Strike two. Morgan hits the inside. O'Neill walked his first time around. Now looking to extend the inning. One away, runner on first. Down 2-0. Morgan checks the runner. And the 0-2 pitch. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Morgan on the night. 3 of them swinging, 2 of them looking.
Shortstop number 6, Bradley Jaworek.
Pipolo's got some good speed here. Is he going to take a little bit of a chance? The only reason why you wouldn't be running here is because you got the 9-hole hitter up, and you don't want to get thrown out. You want to be able to turn over the lineup to going into the next inning. So be interested to see what Keith does. He'll probably keep Pipolo there at first base. Plus, Marcus Morgan, one of the things here that we haven't talked about is how quick he is to the plate.
Especially that's something you have to get used to as a pitcher. Of course, just pitching from the stretch as opposed to the windup. But then with a runner on first, without necessarily doing that kind of a leg kick, it's more of just a slide and go. And if you can do that accurately, just proves to be another attribute in his wonderful pitching arsenal. Is strike two, swung on a miss.
And one of the reasons why he can is he's got a quick hand, quick arm. You know, kids that are long, slow, pitchers that are long and slow, if it's John Lester, you know, guys that typically the guys that have a hard time throwing to bases, it's because they have a longer arm action, a little slower arm action. That's a quick arm action right there by Marcus Morgan.
Counts now 2-2 to Brady Jaworek. 0 for 1 on the day.
I'm a guy that I like that slide step at times, but I think, you know, if there's a guy that's not going to be running, why are we slide stepping at first base or with a guy at first or a guy at second? There's a time for it, but I think right now everybody goes to the slide step. I think it also puts a little more pressure on your arm. So if you can go with the traditional leg lift, even if it's just a semi leg lift, I think you're going to have more success, have a little more velocity, be able to get on top of your breaking ball, have more command. And that one he really went fast. He varies, and that's him varying his looks. That's a young kid having a feel. But again, you got a 2-run lead. Your job is to get this hitter. Don't worry about that guy at first base too much.
Well, the runner Pipolo not even being held on a full count. This ball driven to left center and will drop for a hit. Pipolo getting to third will be held, and Coach McSweeney goes for a single from Jaworek. And it's big time because it brings up the top of the order with a runner in scoring position. There are 2 outs.
Good job right there.
First baseman number 4.
Now, one thing here, if you look at this, we actually probably could have the tying run at second base. As soon as Strunk threw that ball to the shortstop, probably should have been the base runner first, should have been going to second base, or at least putting some pressure on to try to get to second base with 2 outs. Strunk, one thing that Strunk did right there, he did a great job of taking the deep angle. We've talked about outfield play where kids aren't used to the turf. Strunk did a great job of taking a deep angle. If he wouldn't have done that, ball would have got by him and they would have scored a run. But he took a deep angle, so the base runner that hit the ball should be putting good pressure on them. Once that ball went towards third base, probably should have advanced. Now you got the tying run at second base. Those are the little things with base running that kids don't think of enough. And you know, that wouldn't have been a gamble. In fact, what I would be doing with my middle infielders, I would be yelling 2 just to keep that guy off, because I don't care about that first guy. I want to keep that tying run off of second base.
There is activity in the Iowa City West bullpen. Looks like a number 21 that I'm not seeing registered here on the roster. Well, that's because I have Solon's roster in my hand, not. It's Colin Levy out for warming up Iowa City West, as Morgan will try and battle through his First stressful situation of the game here. A 2-run lead. Both were on a single, so potentially this could be the first earned run Morgan would give up all season long if Cam Miller is able to come away with a base knock here. Counts 0-1. Morgan reels back and fires. Right back up the middle, and there it is. Cam Miller. The single as Strunk throws it in. That will bring home Jackson, Pipolo, and Solon's cut the lead in half. It's 2-1.
Great piece of hitting. As we talked about, he's a competitor. Cam Miller, one of the better competitors in Eastern Iowa, without a doubt. And you know, a little thing, going back to that base running, we could have a tie game right now if we would have advanced to second base there. But got a pretty good hitter up right here. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bach's going to play football at South Dakota State. It looks like a football player.
He's a heck of a wrestler as well. That Solon football team just churns out recruits.
Yeah, they really do.
Bach has flown out twice. One to second, one to short. Both right on the outside part of the infield.
Now this is a time, you saw Marcus, he did that really quick slide step. This is, you know what, we got 2 outs. We got a really good hitter up. Don't let this guy get the hit. So don't be so quick to the plate with the slide step. Let's get our leg up and be able to get a little something extra on it. And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about is there's times not to be using that really quick slide step.
Bach's got a 1-2 count working against him. As Morgan fires, trying to blast it past him, and it looks like Bach will fly out for the 3rd time today. This one kind of in the same spot as the first baseman McAreevy makes the catch, and it will go for a pop out to the first baseman to end the inning. But not until damage was done. Solon cutting the deficit in half. A 2-run deficit is now 1. Iowa City West leading 2-1 after a 1-run, 3-hit inning from the Solon Spartans. Bottom of the 5th coming up on KCRG 9.2. Edition number 3 of the Dizzy Bat competition down the first base line. We've had in the middle innings of each and every game. These guys going around the bat way longer than any of the other games did. And we got one casualty down who's struggling to get up.
Oh!
Second competitor seems to be doing a little bit better. Not as dizzy once he's got to the clothing. Quickly with the pants on.
Those pants covered his whole body.
Shirt.
Yeah, they're getting a little smarter. They didn't put the helmet on first.
Yeah. He doesn't have his arms through his sleeves. Not exactly sure if that's a technicality or not. Juan's got his pants on backwards. And whoever's wearing number 5 making a race out of it.
Oh, down.
And that is the point of doing it all. Not for the kids to participate, but so we can laugh at them falling.
Down goes Frazier.
All right, in first place we have Garrett, and in second,
It's part of a wonderful atmosphere here at Dwayne Banks Field all day long as part of the Fight with Flash Crosstown Baseball Classic. Here in game number 3, in game 1, we had Liberty get their record back to 500 following a win over Clear Creek Amana. In game number 2, we had City High take down Regina 6-5. And now we're in game number 3. Near the end, bottom of the 5th inning, Iowa City West up 2-1 over the Solon Spartans. That 1 run from the Spartans coming in the top half of the 5th inning. 2 runners left on base, however, though, and it was the dead heart of the lineup. They did get 1 across, but potentially a missed opportunity to not get more, at least the equalizer for Solon.
Yeah, there could have been. It's it's easy for me to say up here, but had a chance to potentially get another guy in scoring position right there. But you know what? Great swing of the bat by Cam Miller. What a great high school baseball game this has been, though. 2 outstanding pitchers, execution all over the field, very good defense. It's good to see. And you know it'd be easy for Solon to be intimidated by West High, but they're really they're battling off of Marcus Morgan and having a great approach off him, and you know what, making West High make plays. And Fleckenstein's been out there making some great plays. You know, a play, Strunk cutting that ball off in the gap right there. You know, if he doesn't do that, you get a guy, they score a run, and the guy either at second or third, and also we got a tie game.
The 0-2 pitch misses high for ball number 1 on Fleckenstein, who's up at the plate now. Grounded out to short, his only at-bat of the game. That was back in the 2nd inning. And after him, it will be back to the top of the order. Fleckenstein fouls it away to the right side.
Now, here's another thing. Why that run was important, to get that first run, is now all of a sudden you look down in the bullpen, they got Lucas Walker, one of their top starters, a tremendously talented left-handed pitcher. He's one of the starting pitchers that'll be pitching on Monday probably. So what Keith might do is bring him in for 1 inning. Then what you're going to see is as soon as Cam Miller gets off the field, he's going to run down, get his arm loose. So they'll have Cam Walker and then Lucas Walker and Cam Miller those last 2 innings. So that run, being a one-run game, will have Keith potentially go to his top 2 starters.
We also saw action in the West High bullpen as it's Colin Levy continuing to warm up as Ice Kemper gets the
lucky thing we didn't have that. Lucky thing we didn't have that bet, because Fleckenstein just struck out there. Get that big paycheck of yours.
Nick Biancuzzo, his 3rd at-bat of the game. Flew out to center first time around, then singled in the 3rd. Phenomenal pitching in this game. Ice Kemper going for 5 full innings. 2 earned runs given up. 3 strikeouts against 2 walks.
Nick doing a great job as a leadoff guy. And remember that leadoff bunt he had? That was a big play in the game. He went around to score. He got the bunt down. Ended up getting second base. Walk, sac fly. I think he stole the base.
He did steal the base. I believe it was, if not the 1st or 2nd pitch of the at-bat for Ben Madden.
And then Ben got the ground ball with good base running by Nick, where it was a ground ball to short, but it was to the left of the shortstop, and he advanced.
That one slips out of the hand of Ice Kemper. It counts now 3-1. And that one misses high and outside as well. Ball 4. Biancuzzo on base for the 2nd time today.
3rd baseman, number 16, Ben Madden.
The amount of pitches Colin Levy's thrown in the Iowa City West High bullpen would very much lead me to believe that he will be coming in for the 6th inning. Levy's made 2 appearances so far this season, registered 2/3 of an inning. He's given up 3 earned runs. ERA doesn't look too good, 31.5, given that the inning pitched was not a full inning. Could just be getting a bullpen session.
Looked like he was thrown with a purpose down there, though. I think you're correct. And either it was a bullpen or he's coming in now.
Biancuzzo takes 2nd and standing because the pitch got past Adam Bach. So now with 1 away, 2, 3, 4 hitters up next for West High, looking to get that 1 run back to increase the lead to a much more comfortable 2 as opposed to a 1. Still have the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up next inning for Solon. Two-0 count for Ice Kemper up against Ben Madden. And the pitch outside. You said you saw Lucas Walker out there. I saw him doing some stretching. It looks like now he's finally started playing catch.
Well, he let that one go. He just threw that over the fence.
Over the backstop, yeah. Better to do that in the bullpen than in a game.
Yeah, that one missed by a lot.
3-0 pitch taken all the way in for the first strike of the at-bat.
The interesting part for some of these guys, I think Lucas Walker's probably been a starter all year long, hasn't come out of the pen. So it's a little bit different, but that's what's going to happen at the end of the year. So at tournament time, so it's good to try to get him comfortable doing that. Ooh.
A shot from Madden that nearly decapitates Ice Kemper as Biancuzzo will chug along home and touch home plate. They get the run back to a 2-run lead for West High, 3-1. That shot right back at him.
That almost got the ump. Not only almost got the pitcher, almost got the umpire.
Number 22, Jason Strunk.
Strunk looking to add it on. Reached base once so far on a walk where he battled back from an 0-2 count. First at bat was a routine ground out to Jawarik at short. Breaking ball falls into the zone on the inside.
Tell you what, that was a good piece of hitting by Ben Madden, staying inside the baseball. Watching Ben throughout the years, he was a guy that always came around the ball and was a dead pull hitter, but he's worked extremely hard on attacking the inside part of the baseball, and that's a perfect example right there.
Madden takes off. Bach to throw down. Madden safe at second.
Saw McSweeney right there. He ended up keeping the tag on, which is good because a lot of these guys aren't used to sliding on the turf. And as you
slide
see,
right off.
You really do. You almost hydroplane on the surface. Ben Madden did a good job of using that left hand to hold on to the bag. McSweeney did a good job of keeping the tag on him. It's actually changed how you put tags down because now you got to put it down and ride with them in case they come off the bag. It used to be straight up and down, get it in, get it out. You know, too many people swipe. You don't want to swipe because if you miss, you always automatically go down. It's too easy for the umpire to tell if you swipe, if you miss. So really what you should do is go straight up and down. But now it's straight up, down, and follow.
Well, that's probably been brought down from the majors now that they have so much video review. You've seen a handful of these people caught stealing where they beat the ball there and then a tiny part of that hand slips off the bag and they're not on it, so they're taught to keep it on them now, and you've seen with the video review a number of times that's been called out.
Exactly. That's why you can't swipe tag anymore either, because the old Javi Baez slide where they pick up, if you just swipe you're going to miss them, so you got to go straight up and down now. And of course the best at the tag is Javi Baez. You know, people talk about how quick his hands are. He actually uses his lower half to create a quicker tag by dropping to his knees and getting the glove down there that much quicker in the ball. It's an incredible art that he has of the tag.
Full count to Strunk, just missing the inside. It was a 2-2 count, so now it's full.
Been a long day, third game.
Gonna go. I'm trusting our scoreboard. Our scoreboard's been right all game.
You know, it really
all
has
day. The full count. Strunk takes high. Runners now on first and second for Ryan Cooper, as it looks like we will see a pitching change here.
Going to bring in Rickerson now.
Third walk for Geiskemper, as he looks like he will exit the mound after 4 1/3 inning pitched. It's a nice ovation from the Spartan fans.
Braden Rickerson coming in. I had the opportunity to watch him. He's a sophomore. He's got a good arm. He's got a chance to be a good pitcher. Now, as I talked about why it was big to score that 1 run for Solon is because they were thinking about bringing in Lucas Walker, and then they'd be able to use Cam Miller also. But by West High scoring that run, instead of seeing their best starters, they're bringing in the relievers. So the little games, the game within the game is very, very interesting.
Braden Rickerson, 1 start on the year, 3 appearances, 6 2/3 innings registered throughout the year. Just 2 hits allowed, 3.15 ERA after allowing 3 earned runs, 5 runs total, 10 walks against 10 strikeouts. And is here tasked trying to limit the damage into the heart of the order for the West High Trojans.
We've also got a little lost and found going on up here in the press box. If you happen to have misplaced a pair of black...
Again, wrapping up Game 3 of the day here on KCRG 9.2's live high school baseball coverage all day long from the Fight with Flash Crosstown Classic. We've got a handful of high school games coming up on KCRG 9.2 next week, and next Friday we've got some professional ball. Catch Cedar Rapids Colonels baseball live right here on KCRG 9.2. Colonels are taking on Lansing. First pitch at 6:30.
Anybody want to know what that number is?
I'm just waiting on the Colonels to come up with a alternate name for one game of the year. I saw the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. You see that?
No, I didn't.
The Udder Tuggers. Got a big cow with its udders just flailing. It's the best logo I've ever seen in sports. They got the Rocket City Trash Pandas for a whole season. Yeah. And not that I don't like the Colonels' name, but just one game, sell a whole lot of merchandise, pay for another prospect with all the money, or maybe, pay for netting. That's how you budget for it. Ryan Cooper, the cleanup hitter, will be Rickerson's first challenger, and hits him on the hip. Just like that, bases are loaded.
I know Braden's dad, Jess Rickerson, works at the University of Iowa in the ticket office, runs all their suites, and just a great man. And I've watched Braden grow up throughout the years, and Braden was actually thinking about not pitching at all, and then all of a sudden he got to high school this year, and they're like, hey, we're gonna have you pitch, and next thing you know, he's pitching at the varsity level. So it's something that he wasn't really focused on, but he's got a chance to be a really good pitcher at some point.
Chase Calderwood at the plate now, takes ball one up high.
And what a great learning experience for him to be out there in this situation against West High.
The 1-0 count. Runners on every base. That one also misses high. Rickerson finding trouble, finding the strike zone here. His first 3 pitches. Trying to limit the damage.
Trying to keep it close here.
2-run lead is a 2-run deficit. It's already hard to overcome for Solon when you're talking about a West High bullpen. That is if they elect to take Morgan out of the game, as Morgan's had a phenomenal 5 innings of work. But with only 1 out, West trying to look to blow it open here. The 3-0 pitch. Taken high. Must have been 2-0 again. I went against my word. I didn't trust ours. Looking at the scoreboard out there, I didn't trust ours. Sorry, guys. Hitters count, 3-1. That one is outside. And each runner will trot 90 feet in the forward direction. The lead grows to 4-1 for Iowa City West.
First baseman, number 17, Owen McElravy.
You can see you get into the bullpens, especially in an event like this where it's hard to bring too many guys, use too many of your frontline guys. But as you get deeper in the bullpen, that's when the score starts to change a little bit. See Braden get a 2-ball right here.
2 runners have crossed this inning on just 1 hit. Inning started off well for Geis-Kemper with the backwards K on Nick Fleckenstein, but when the top of the order came around, and it's been a walk, single, walk, hit by pitch, walk.
Now, one of the tricks of the trade here is, if you notice, now Braden threw a strike there, but he's been missing up in the zone. Watch where Bach sets up his glove. If I've got a guy that's been missing up in the zone, I'm going to set it down below the knees and give him a different perspective, and maybe make his sight lines a little bit different where he'll get the ball down. Even if it's down below the knees, out of the strike zone, it might just make that little bit of adjustment. If a kid's constantly missing wide, outside, I would set up inside to give him just a little different sight line and try to help him out.
Nice slider there, just misses on the inside. 2-2 the count to Owen McElravy, who's 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. He was the runner that got picked off back in the 4th inning when he was standing on second. But so far, West has gotten those runs back, now at 4. Foul tip.
Big pitch here. Creighton needs to either get a ground ball or a strikeout or a pop-up in this situation.
Rickerson delivers. This one fouled back to the backstop again. Like you mentioned before, it's 2 straight times now where he's fouled it right back. Yeah, he's close.
It's not a good feeling for a pitcher. And those were pitches.
No, it's better than watching that ball go out of the park, I guess.
You'd rather see it go backwards.
That one hits him in the helmet. Second hit by pitch in 3 batters for Rickardson as another run will cross home. This time it's Strunk scoring for West. And this one quickly getting out of hand here for Solon.
The pitcher, number 20.
You could tell Owen likes contact. He's a football player right there. Ball's going at his head. He didn't even flinch. Usually you see a guy try to get out of the way, but he didn't even try to get out of the way.
The ultimate sacrifice your body for the team kind of guy.
So there you go.
Marcus Morgan at the plate. He's had a phenomenal day pitching, 5 strong innings so far. We'll see if he comes in for a 6 now that the lead is quite a bit more comfortable. 4 runs as opposed to just 1. 3 runs in the inning here in the bottom of the 5th. So far for West, still only 1 out. And Morgan connects one. Lines it to right. O'Neill gathers. 1 run will score. Runner being held at third is Calderwood after Cooper comes home. Morgan with an RBI. Just the second hit of the inning.
Second baseman, number 2.
As 4 runs have come home to cross. To now bring it to a 6-1 lead.
Good piece of hitting right there by Marcus.
Casey Marvin up to the plate now, and on deck is Nick Fleckenstein, who led off the inning. So not quite around the order yet, but we're close. That ball misses outside. Marvin waits and connects to this one. This will go in the gap. Multiple runners to come home here. Calderwood is in. McAreevy's also in. Here comes Morgan. Stand-up triple for Casey Marvin. And this one just got blown wide open. It was 6-1. Now it's 9-1. And all of a sudden, the slaughter rule starts to come into effect.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the free bases are what got him. I think that's only the 2nd hit in the inning, or 3rd hit in the inning. But all the free bases are what ultimately got Braden there, unfortunately.
2 more runs, and this one will be over. 10 through 5. We'd have to end the inning, I guess. Well, no, we wouldn't. Once they get 10, it'd be called.
You know, I like this. Look at Keith out there. This is, again, we talked about teaching moments. Braden didn't have the type of day that he wanted to. So he took the extra time to talk to him and say, hey, good learning experience. You're all right. Keep your head up. Just got to pound the strike zone. And that's what you love to see from these coaches, the positive feedback for the kids. There's the old school where they bark at them all the time. You know what? Kids don't respond to that as much as they used to. You know, so it's more talking, teaching, and making sure you stay positive with them.
It looks like Nolan Pattison, the junior for Solon, will check into the game as the team's 3rd pitcher of the day. Officially, Braden Rickardson did not register an out. 7 runs were scored while he was on the hill, although the first one coming from Nick Dincuzo will be affected by the starter Ryan Geskamper, who walked Biancuso, 2nd batter faced of the inning. And the final score will be whatever it is, but it will not indicate how the first 4.5 innings were played in this ball game. We were thinking low score throughout its entirety. It was fast-paced, great pitching, and now all of a sudden West Side's blown it open.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was best played game of the day, and still, you know, you still look up there. There's no errors. You know, they just got into the bullpen and were able to get a little bit of a lead where instead of Solon bringing in their starters, you know, Walker and Cam Miller, all of a sudden they go to more of the Miller relievers and who aren't quite as experienced and as polished as Walker and Miller. And that's why each run is so important in a game like this because you manage it different. It's not just about this game. It's about your games on Monday. And there's still been a ton of positives here for Solon.
Nick Fleckenstein led off the inning with a strike 3 looking. Now he has a chance. His second at bat here in the 5th inning. Only 3 hits for West High throughout the batting order, but 7 runs have come across to score here in the frame. Nolan Pattinson, the pitcher, 2 2/3 of an inning pitched so far this season, an ERA of 5.25. 3 strikeouts to go with 0 walks. The walks have been lethal for Solon so far this inning. Swing and a miss for Fleckenstein. 1, 2, 3. 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches this inning.
The dreaded free bases.
Pattinson settles and delivers. This one swung on, fouled away by Fleckenstein. Counts now 2-2, still 1 out.
I anticipate a ground ball to short or second base right here. Fleckenstein's not going to let himself go out.
2-2 pitch. This one flown over to O'Neill and right, who makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Casey Marvin. Throw to the plate was just a few moments behind. Marvin having to slide into home as the West Side Trojans have hit double digits.
Good piece of hitting there, though. You know, every run right now, the things have changed a little bit. You want to try to end this inning where, you know what, you might be able to get Marcus Morgan out there, get him out, and bring somebody else in, but maybe be able to end this game, next inning by scoring an extra run.
Top of the order back up for West High. They need 1 more to end the game due to mercy rule. With a 9-run lead after an 8-run inning here that is still not over. Mancuso walked earlier this inning, now in his second at bat. Off-speed pitch, misses low from Patson. After flying out in the first inning, Mancuso has reached base in both of his latter at-bats.
You know, one of the neat things here, I'm just looking down by the third base dugout. You got Craig Schrader talking to Tate and his family. What a neat moment. I know they've spoke on numerous occasions, and just neat to be able to see Tate out here and his dad and mom, and to be able to be around this. And for Tate, he loves baseball. He's sticking around for this entire game.
Mancuso keeps the inning alive with his second single of the game, and if it's anything like we saw in the 3rd inning, he will take off pretty early. You would like to think that Iowa City West will try to get home that 1 more run they need to end it. Get out of the gnat-filled turf field that is Dwayne Banks Field tonight.
You know, this is the tough moment here. This is, you know, Coach Stump has the utmost respect for Coach McSweeney. So with a 9-run lead, do you run? You know, that's a tough one as a coach. You know, I'd probably just wait and see if you can get a couple hits to score the run compared to trying to end the game. And it's just kind of the way I've been brought up. But I guarantee you Coach Stump would like to get out of this where he doesn't have to use anybody out of his bullpen. He's got a lot of games next week. But again, it's a respect deal. Coach McSweeney would understand 100% if they ran here. But I really don't think you're not going to find a classier guy than Charlie Stump. So I have a feeling that he's just going to, if they're going to score, it's going to take a couple hits. Plus those mosquitoes are, the bugs are, gnats are bothering him too bad down there as he swipes them away.
Could see him swiping his hat in front of his face. Ben Madden facing the 1-1 count. Swing pops this one up, should be caught in the infield. Foul territory, first baseman Miller under it, makes the catch. As we head to the 6th inning following an 8 spot put on by Iowa City West in the bottom of the 5th inning. Solon coming up next, the 3, 4, 5 hitters. We'll see if they can make a comeback here. Live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. Comfortable lead for the West High Trojans, who lead 10-1 now after 5 innings against the Solon Spartans. And we've seen now that Marcus Morgan's day is officially done after 5 strong innings of work. 4 hits allowed, 1 run. It was earned, his first earned run given up all season long. 5 strikeouts to 1 walk. And on the bump now, Colin Levy, the junior for the Trojans, has the job of protecting the 9-run lead.
Sometimes this is a tough situation. You got the big lead, keeping your focus. So big thing is going to be throwing strikes. You know, this inning might be tough. You got the 3, 4, 5 guys up, but you know if they're going to get on base, make them swing the bat.
The 3-hitter Jax Flynn will be Levy's first challenger. Flynn has struck out twice to Morgan. One was looking, one was swinging. He takes strike 1, fouling that pitch off. As the 0-1 from Levy. Delivered. Misses outside.
Flynn just looks like an athlete, doesn't he? Strong kid, typical Solon player. They got that new weight room over there that you can absolutely tell that these guys use that weight room.
Caught on the inside corner there is Levy's pitch for strike 2. And the work ethic of these Solon athletes, too, as you well know, with, would imagine, a handful of kids on your baseball team and a lot of football recruits getting churned out there. Most notably of the Iowa Hawkeyes, Tyler Linderbaum, who will look to get a starting role on the offensive line next season. And it's incredible the way he's developed from his freshman to now sophomore year under the Iowa training regimen, which we all know to be fairly substantial.
It's amazing what Chris Doyle's done in that weight room with the players. You know, last year I tell you what, it was interesting. A year ago, we talked about the Liberty guys. They were all freshmen and sophomores last year, and their first game of the year at the varsity level was against Solon. And Tyler Linderbaum was at first base, and my son Tyler led off, and I don't know if he walked or got hit by a pitch, and he ran the first base, and he's standing there. He just looked up at Tyler Linderbaum, and he was like, oh, my goodness. So their team last year was absolutely the biggest high school team I've ever seen. So, but, you know, Solon has done a great job. I was fortunate. I don't have any Solon kids on my team right now, any players. They're not kids, young men. But I had players in the past, Nick Day, Loveless, who ended up signing a pro contract and not making it to us, but they had some really, really good players. The Shalista, Brandon Shalista, his dad Scott Shalista, who was a longtime pitching coach for Keith, and now he's over at Cornell, who did a great job with their pitching staff as they made the regional for the first time. But they've had some really, really good players come through here, and of course a lot of them have gone to play football or other sports also.
Swing and a miss there from Pattison, who's been the designated hitter for the first handful of innings before coming into pitch in the bottom half of the 5th. Pattison's 0 for 2, a strikeout and ground out. A great eye there, taking that ball outside.
You know, he doesn't call the outside pitch on the righties. He does more on the lefties, and those are the tendencies that umpires have, and that's what you learn. And he's very consistent. He's really done a good job because he's been as consistent as again, that's what you ask for, is consistency, and he's really done a nice job back there. I feel bad I forget his name. He's done some of our games at Mount Mercy before, but all these umpires have, you know, we've talked about a couple pitches here and there, but these umpires have done a great job. You know, we're fortunate with some of the umpires that we have, with all the umpires we have in eastern Iowa.
Count is 2-2, but Levy hits Pattison on the back. As Pattison will trot over to first. The hit by pitch, which will bring up Chris McSweeney. McSweeney 1 for 2 on the day. And Pattison will get a pinch runner as he's the pitcher.
Second baseman, number 14. Chris McSweeney.
It looks like we have Dylan Jaworek coming in to pinch run for Pattison. Jaworek, the junior, the brother of Brady Jaworek, whose name we've said a handful of times here. Stedler play at shortstop tonight.
Yeah, I believe Brady's only a sophomore.
Sophomore, yep.
He really does a nice job. He played for my son last year, and my son would always talk about the plays he made and the type of talent he has. And he showed it today, making plays to his left, making plays to his right. You know, we got some really good plays out there, especially by the shortstops.
McSweeney lines this one right back up the gut. Advances Jaworek to second. McSweeney will take a spot at first. 2 runners on.
Another McSweeney twice now. Line drives up the middle. Good swing. You know, the nice thing about McSweeney, about Chris, is he doesn't try to overswing. He just gets the barrel there, takes what he's given, and had a really nice day today. Made all the plays at second base.
Cole Artiser up next, 0 for 2 on the day, looking for his first hit. As Solon attempting the comeback here. They've got a ways to go, down by 9. There's 2 innings left. 1 out in the inning as Levy delivers the 0-1. Misses inside. And the 1-1 to Artiser. Misses low.
We got 2-1 count right now. 2-1 count. Got to make sure it's a really good pitch here. Don't chase. Get a good pitch. You know, your job's to get on base and pass that baton. Good swing.
Fouled away from Artiser. Counts 2-2.
I've watched this guy. His dad always coached the Solon team, and he's really grown into a young man, big young man. Always been an outstanding competitor. All the years watching him.
Fouled away, battling is Artiser. Runners on first and second. This one, the biggest run differential we've seen in all 3 games today. 9-run lead for West High. It was a 4-run win for Liberty. Very tight ball game in our second game between City High and Regina. 2-2 pitch misses away. Count is full. It's an absolute wonderful day here. Wonderful night now. The Fight with Flash Crosstown Baseball Classic. I do want to remind you, if you are tuning in now and missed how our first 2 games came up, check out KCRG's newscast tonight at 10 o'clock. Josh Christensen will have the highlights from each of the 3 games. It'll also be online, KCRG.com. And as for the event itself, I did peek. Our KCRG reporter, Maria Green, was out today. You can see a recap from both angles, off the field and on the field, of today's wondrous event. As bases are now loaded following the walk.
As you mentioned, we're watching everything on the field. There's so much stuff going on behind us right now with selling stuff, auctions. You know, it's not just what we're seeing in between the white lines. They're doing everything they can, auctioning things, selling things. You know, it's absolutely amazing as you walk around town in eastern Iowa, or even drive throughout the state and see all the fight with Flash bumper stickers and shirts and everything. There's been times where you're watching TV and you see a Fight with Flash shirt at one of the sporting events, and you know, I'll rewind it, take a picture, and send it to the Schraders. It's absolutely amazing what they have done in eastern Iowa.
Jackson Pipolo hits the barrel of the bat on that, and it drops in center. Strunk gathers as the second run of the night has come home to score for Solon. That was a pinch runner for Nolan Pattison. I believe it was Dylan Jaworek coming home to score from the single registered by Jackson Pipolo. Back-to-back singles and back-to-back innings for Pipolo.
Number 15, Lucas Walker.
As the rest of the runners advance 1 base. And instead of Cale O'Neill, we'll have a pinch hitter who was
Lucas
someone
Walker.
we might have thought was going to come into pitch a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, he was close. You know, you look at this score right now, 10-2, and people say, "Oh, probably won a very good game." And this has actually probably been the best played game of the day. You know, that's what you just don't know when you're playing non-conference games, and sometimes you don't quite have the bullpen guys ready to go. And this has really been a very, very competitive game besides 1 inning.
Walker pokes it through the right side. This will bring home another runner as Coach McSweeney holds up Artiser at third. McSweeney The player, Chris, came home to score, and it's a 10-3 ball game now. Artiser advances to third, Pipolo to second, as Walker knocks home the hit. 2 hits in the inning to bring home 2 runs. Registered to Levy, as it looks like Levy's night will be finished.
Looks like Ben Madden might be coming in if he can get through the gate.
Levy exiting after registering 1 out, so 1/3 of an inning will go towards his statistics, giving up 3 hits and the 2 earned runs. Still a 7-run lead, though, for West.
Yeah, this is Ben Madden. So Charlie right there didn't want to lose too much of the momentum. That's why he's, the pitcher was struggling a little bit. That's why he's bringing Ben Madden in now. With the big lead, you still don't want to let him get too close and get too much momentum. You basically got to get 5 more outs in this game, and now they're turning it over to Ben Madden, hoping he can get all 5 of those.
Ben Madden started the night playing third base. The first out of this inning came from a fly out to third base. That was caught from the starting pitcher, Marcus Morgan. So now they've switched spots. Morgan's been playing third all inning. Madden was instructed to warm up in the bullpen, and now he's in. The job of getting out of the inning. Bases are still loaded for Solon with just 1 away. The 9-hitter coming up, Brady Jaworek. And then it's back to the always dangerous top of the order.
Coach Stumpf would like to see Ben Madden come in here, and Ben's a strike thrower. That's one of the nice things here in this situation. You want to get somebody that's going to be a strike thrower. That's what Ben will definitely do here.
So Jaworek is up to bat now. On deck should be Cam Miller, but I believe that's him warming up. I see a pinch hitter getting ready, Nico Longo, but it looks like Miller might be warm enough to keep his at bat as well, because if Jaworek's able to do some damage here, all of a sudden Miller can come to the plate and really bring this back to a close ball game. Jaworek pop fly out to Strunk in center. Strunk under it. It's actually Calderwood who makes the catch.
Nice play out there.
Shallow right center.
Yeah, Coach McSweeney, he knows he needs Cam Miller up in this situation. So nobody's out there right now, but Cam was just running back. Just in case they were able to sneak back into this game, they wanted to put Cam out there to hold it where it is. This is a good move right here. This is a veteran move. Just Cam had to run down, so Keith just tried to slow him up a little bit and talk to him. And that's a veteran move by a coach that understands. He just ran down here. He got his motor going. Try to slow up the game a little bit. Pretty hard to slow up Cam Miller, though.
Ben Madden has done half the work he's needed to in this inning, getting 1 out. Now back at the top of the order with Miller. 10-3 lead for the Trojans. Heart of the order coming up for West High in the bottom half of this 6th inning. Madden delivers. Half swing. Out at third for Morgan. It's kind of a check swing for Miller. Didn't really seem too decisive on swinging that ball, and it just got caught halfway through his decision. It came right to Morgan, who was basically already on the bag.
I think he got surprised by the breaking ball, looking fastball, and he's an aggressive kid and wanting to hit, and he wishes he had that one back right now.
So Ben Madden does the job, limits the damage, and gets out of the inning. It's a 10-3 lead after 2 were put up in the top of the 6th. West still holding on to the 7-run lead. Bottom of the 6th coming up after the break. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. You see Tate Schaefer there on your screen. Reading the names for the giveaway raffle here. Just one of many fan activities that fans here at Dwayne Bakes Field have come to enjoy today. The raffle being part of the 3rd game. I don't know. I enjoyed the Dizzy Bats a lot, especially that last one.
I tell you what, I enjoyed the wave too. So that was pretty special.
Jason Strunk motoring around first. Likes to stay there after the sharply hit single down the left field line. Strunk's first hit of the day.
Yeah, it was his first hit. And, you know, I think right there shows you his leg is bothering him a little bit, because usually he would turn that on and turn it into a double. So, but probably smart in that situation. Last thing he needs to do is bang that thing again. He actually got hurt at Mount Mercy diving and banging that knee. In fact, they're pinch running for him. So it's a smart move by Charlie. This is a very, very special game, but at the same time, it's still about conference and having to play well and keep your main player Strunk, keeping them healthy.
Looked like that was Ben Vanderleest into pinch run, number 18 for the Trojans for Strunk. Couple conference games coming up for both of these opponents as we are just before mid-season here of the high school baseball schedule. After this game, both of these teams will play Monday. Iowa City West hosting Dubuque Hempstead, and Solon hosting West Delaware, the Hawks. Both of these doubleheaders on Monday. Ryan Cooper up at the plate. Cooper's reached base twice, one on a walk, one by a hit by pitch, so he'd like to earn it this time. Sharply hit on the left side. Greatly fielded by Artiser. Can't turn the double play. The fielder's choice will go down as Cooper reaches base once more without getting credit for it.
Nice play right there by Artiser at third base and making sure he got the first out. That's the most important thing. You don't want to rush it and also throw the ball away and not getting out at all.
The fifth spot in the lineup was Chase Calderwood, but instead it's now Ian Glusing, the senior, into pinch hit.
I've had the pleasure to work with Ian back for a long time, for about 4 or 5 years. He just kept growing and turned into a very, very talented offensive lineman for the football team.
Glusing hitting .313 on the season, 5 hits and 16 at-bats, 6 strikeouts, 3 RBIs on the season. Pitch gets called for strike 2, 0-2 count. Patson has on Glusing. And here comes the 0-2. This is outside. Initially blocked by Bach, who makes the throw down to second. Gets past the shortstop, Jawarko.
Boy, Bach got there fast. The ball snuck away from him, and he almost still throw the guy out. When typically, if that ball gets outside the brown turf, I was going to say the dirt, but typically it gets out there, it's you don't even throw the ball. But he's so quick on his feet, he almost got that base runner.
And now the 1-2 delivered. This is outside again. Time Bach not letting it get past him. Runner on second, 7-run lead for the West Side Trojans. Looking for win number 10 on the season. This one's fouled behind. Count continues to stay at 2-2.
They've really done a nice job here at Dwayne Banks Field with this new turf and scoreboard and some of the upgrades. The new netting looks nice, but it's time for them to.
There's a renovation coming at some time, right?
It's time. I don't know what else Rick needs to do in order to get that renovation. It's something that needs to be done. He's elevated the program tremendously. He's got some momentum, and the next thing that needs to be done is they need to make that commitment, and they need to build that stadium. Everybody else in the Big Ten has a brand new stadium out there. The only team that doesn't is the University of Iowa, and it's amazing. This is still a nice setting. The turf has made a huge difference. The scoreboard. Rick has done a great job of turning this into a great home field advantage. They're very tough to beat here. However, they deserve more as a Big Ten institution and the success that Rick has. And in order to take that next step, some people say, well, he needs to win a conference championship. Well, he's won some tournament, but the next step is that the university needs to step up for him.
Ball 4 for Blusing, who reaches first base. Runners on first and second now for Owen McAreavy.
First baseman, number 17, Owen McAreavy.
It's Cooper standing on second. Yeah, you know, traveling with the football team, I get to see a lot of these visiting campuses. And like you said, even for yourself at Mount Mercy, how much it can have an impact on things like recruiting. And what do recruiting, what does that do?
Yeah.
It helps your results in the end. When you have better players coming into the program, some of these other Big Ten stadiums, Ohio State's just comes to mind, the first one, and it's just an unbelievable facility they have down there in Columbus.
Yeah, it really is. You look at the teams at what they've done. You look at, Penn State hasn't had much success on the field, but they have a minor league stadium that's second to none. Now they share it, but all these other teams have so much. Now Illinois has not redone theirs. Illinois and Iowa are the two that haven't quite.
I think they got a new scoreboard or something recently.
Yeah, they did.
Illinois did maybe in the past couple of years. I think I remember hearing. Line drives through the hole from McAreavy. Run will be sent around third and be play at the plate. Bach unable to come with the catch. A runner will score. It's now 11-3. That was Ryan Cooper coming home to score. I don't believe the cutoff man, Artiser, was really prepared to throw that ball home. I think he was surprised he got sent.
That's something that we work on every single day and with throwing, and it's the art. Kids get nonchalant when they play catch. If you catch the ball and you're going to continue it to home plate, that means there's a play. So you've got to be ready. You got to anticipate. You got to have a short arm action. But it's something you got to work on every day. And then you got to put pressure on them too. If you just do it nonchalantly, no big deal. But if you make that if you have to make that play, it means something. It means you got to make that throw. And typically it's hard. It's only about a 60 to 70 foot throw. Not very often do those corner guys make a short throw like that. So you need to work at it.
Marcus Morgan takes strike one. The count is 0-2. Can end it with one swing of the bat here. If both of these runners, one on second and one on third, are able to score, that would give us a 10-run lead for Iowa City West here in the sixth inning. Morgan has walked once, singled twice. The 1-1 coming at him. This ball shot deep to right field. Caught. Looked like that had a little more carry than it actually did.
Boy, he hit that ball well.
I think he from Lucas Walker out there, who was in the right position, only had to backtrack a handful of steps.
I think he got a little topspin on that ball. He absolutely he hit that ball on the screws. Had a little bit of topspin, and Lucas Walker made a nice play out there, nice first step, and made the play. I thought that was definitely off the bat. That was going to go over his head.
Casey Marvin now with the task of trying to get a runner from second on home. It's McAreavy standing on second as strike one is called. Marvin has tripled and struck out twice. Triple came most recently. 2 runs on 2 hits in the inning. Back to a 9-run lead, as that's another call on the outside part of the strike zone. 0-2 count for Casey Marvin. And Pattison delivers the 0-2. Swung on and fouled away.
Now, in this case, if there is a base hit to the outfield, Charlie will run him. It's different trying to score a guy from second base in this situation compared to having a guy steal from first going to second. So Charlie would try to be aggressive, save his bullpen.
Pitch from Pattison, up high. Ball 1. Ball 2, rather. Well, that should be ball 1. It was 0-2. It's a long day.
Game. It is.
8 hours, 15 minutes into the broadcast here.
But a special day.
This one fouled away again. Battling is Casey Marvin.
I think you said it best. It is a long day for us with 3 games here, but we don't want it to end because you just see so many neat things. The camaraderie between the teams. They understand it. Today is more. It's not about the baseball. It's about raising money for a tremendous foundation and honoring Flash, remembering Flash. And you know what's amazing is all these teams and all these local schools, everybody remembers Austin Flash Schrader, and they remember the motto, win the day, and the impact that Flash has made has been incredible. And then for Craig and Stacy to continue it on and do such a first-class deal with the foundation and make it special for the kids.
Marvin battles back to a full count now. Soft ground ball to Artiser, who makes the throw across the diamond to Miller. And it'll be a 9-run lead for the Iowa City West High Trojans into the final inning. Solon Spartans down to their final 3 outs. Check it out. Coming up after the break, you're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2. 9-run lead for West High over Solon. West High ranked 4th overall in the state in Class 4A. Solon came into this one ranked 6th in Class 3A. And this would be an extremely close game if it weren't for an 8-run bottom of the 5th inning that West High put up. Batting around the order. As Ben Madden is now in for his 2nd inning of work, closed out final 2 outs in the 6th. Now working against Adam Bach, 2nd batter in the lineup for Solon. Bach 0 for 3 on the day. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Far and away.
Sun setting over here at Dwayne Banks Field. Looks like they're going to try to get in before you turn on those lights.
Bach sends one deep to right field. This one will bounce foul and then into the bullpen. I think Iowa, the university, would appreciate not having to turn the lights on. They were to get this one finished here. I think there's quite a bit of expense that goes into turning those bad boys on.
I know it used to be $125 just to turn those things on.
It's the flip of a switch. Bach, this one also
nice play.
Oh, I thought that bounced.
No, he got
that's a catch. McAreevy, wow.
Great play right there.
I apologize. I don't believe that was blocked. That was pinch hitter Sully Steen making his first appearance. Popping out to first base. McAreevy, the great catch there.
Nice that coaches are getting a couple other kids. This is a special time. And so getting a couple other kids some at-bats. And, at Dwayne Banks Field, this is something that they'll remember the rest of their lives. And for some guys, this is, they'll play here every year, but it might be their only opportunity to get an at-bat. So you make sure you try to get those guys as many at-bats as you can. I see Tate Schaefer and his family are just leaving right now, and what a neat deal for them to stick around the entire day, and the Schrader family walking them out right now. I know they've gotten extremely close.
This is the opportunity for senior Garrett Hilton, who makes the most of it. Belting a single to left field, gathered by Biancuso and thrown back into the infield. Garrett Hilton with the base knock.
Good swing of the bat right there.
You can hear the support coming from the Solon bench.
That's fun. Sometimes it's hard when you're losing by
Hilton's first hit of the season.
Good for him. That's why they're screaming and yelling out there. That's neat to see the guys supporting their teammates. Sometimes in a game like this, the starters, when they come out, they don't pay attention, but that's very important. In close games, when you're playing, the guys on the bench that aren't playing are always supporting you. Good teammates will go support their teammates. Especially the guys that they practice every day and they might not get the at-bats, and so that's neat to see. And again, that's the environment that both of these coaches create. For years, I say Charlie Stump might be the best manager of a program because again, he gets his teams playing very good. I've seen him. My son Casey was playing for him 5 years ago, and he had a bunch of seniors that were struggling, but he kept them together and ended up playing very well at the end of the year.
That's Dylan Jaworek narrowly getting edged out from the ball thrown by shortstop Fleckenstein for the put away. 2 outs.
Nice play by Fleckenstein.
Hilton advances to second in a 9-run ball game. Spartans down to their final out. Nico Longo, pinch hitter, the junior.
Another little thing here is Coach Stumpf will be really happy with the job that Ben Madden did. What you're always looking for is guys that you can rely on to come in and throw strikes. And you can tell that West High has a pretty solid defense. You can put Marcus Morgan at third base when Madden's pitching, and he's a tremendous athlete. So they've got a very talented defensive team. They just need somebody who's going to throw strikes in situations. And that's why they brought Ben in this situation. He's going to throw strikes. You're going to have to swing the bat to beat him. He's going to compete for you, and he's done a great job because they had some momentum going there, 2 innings ago or an inning ago, and Ben did a very nice job coming in, and now he just continues to come in and throw strikes.
Madden's worked the count to 0-2. Yeah, when Madden came in the 6th inning, it was 10-3, not 12-3. There was only 1 out, bases loaded, so not necessarily intense pressure, but still pressure. The 0-2 delivery just misses high.
You know, was probably feeling the pressure more than anybody. Well, Charlie didn't feel the pressure, but his coaches are going, okay, what can we do here? We don't want them to score 3 or 4 more runs, get that momentum. All of a sudden, bring in. You see Lucas Walker, you see Cam Miller going down there. You want to keep those guys out of the game.
1 misses high as well. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 9-run ball game. Top of the 7th inning here at Dwayne Banks Field. About to cap off a wondrous day in Iowa City. Madden the delivery. This ball grounded in the infield. Morgan will make a play on it from third. Throws across the diamond, and that will do it. Morgan showcasing the arm from a different position than he did in the first part of this game. An excellent pitching outing from Marcus Morgan, who will get the win. 5 strong innings as West High gets their 10th win of the season, following with 12-3 win over the Solon Spartans. We'll recap the day and this game coming up after the break. Don't go away. You're watching live high school baseball on KCRG 9.2.
For the fight with Flash Foundation, and what a great day.
Have the highlights here from game number 3 between Iowa City West and Solon. It was a game that was highly competitive through the first 4 innings. It was a 2-0 lead for West High, and then it became a 2-1 lead in the top of the 5th inning. Then the bottom half of the 5th inning is where things got a little bit ugly. An 8 spot put up by West High made this one blown out, but for anybody looking at the final score, similar to our game before, if you just look at the 6-5 score between City High and Regina, you do not get the story of how that game played out, and certainly a 12-3 final doesn't tell the full story of how this game panned out.
No, you know what? You just look up at the board. There's no errors. Really, there was that one really big inning, and it got away from them a little bit, but there were some tremendous defensive plays made. Great pitching by both starting pitchers. Some timely hitting, some tremendous offensive execution by both teams to score their runs early. And I know this, Charlie Stump is going to be very happy, with how his team played. And Keith will be also. They got their first earned run off of Marcus Morgan. Nobody else has gotten
all season long.
Yeah, all year long, and they were able to do it. They were close to getting a second run off them. So I think it's a positive for both programs as far as what happened on the field. The bottom line is this was a phenomenal day, and Craig and Stacy Schrader and all the board members and everybody that volunteered their time, hats off to them. It's an event that's second to none. It's something that every year people look forward to.
Iowa City West improving to 10-4 on the year. The Solon Spartans falling now to 9-3-1. Up next for Solon, they will host West Delaware on Monday in a doubleheader, and up next for West High, they will host Dubuque Hempstead in a doubleheader. We are not quite at the halfway point for these teams, who we highly imagine will be in postseason contention.
Yes, without a doubt. They're 2 outstanding teams, and with the pitching that they have, they'll have a chance to be able to make a run.
When we come back, we'll wrap up the day here from Dwayne Banks Field. Don't go away. You're watching live high school sports on KCRG 9.2.